If I push this, we're live. Hey, awesome. We are here to talk hunters. Super excited to do this. If anybody doesn't know who Dillon, Bicmex, or Bicmex, depending which accent you're using, or SSDS are, well, go Google them. But they are the OG hunters. They are our experts to join us today and help us figure out what's going to make hunters in Dragonflight so amazing and awesome. Right, let's jump right into. Let's get into this. So first and foremost, I guess, which one? Let's talk Beastmaster. What's SSDS? What's gonna make? What makes you so excited about Beastmaster in Dragonflight?
So much about the spec. The thing that's viable that I like about it is that maintaining your 3 stacks of barb shot frenzy makes you do big damn, because your pet does its little special attack, but 100% increased damage. So I've hit like 40k pet bites on beta, which is really fun.
It's a massive amount.
You know you're gonna get nerfed like boomies then.
Yeah,
okay.
BM's always gonna get nerfed. Unless it's Cobra
awesome.
Shot gameplay.
Wow. But that sounds awesome. Okay, so 3 stacks and do some big hits. Is there anything else in the tree there that's getting you excited?
So if they get the number tuning right, I like that there's 2 actual distinct BM builds, because there's the kind of like the barb shot build, and then there's the pet stomp build, which is just summoning a bunch of dire beasts that stomp, and you just summon a zoo and kill everybody with it. But at the moment, it's currently not tuned too great, mainly because they're working out how Animal Companion works with it, which there's a hidden nerf on Animal Companion that any summon pet you have out does 35% less damage, and that was working on the dire beasts. So they're like, they're working out the numbers.
Sorry, I'm a little confused because I was looking. Oh, okay, I see it now. There's the dire beast there. So okay.
Yeah. So like the whole left side of the tree is dedicated to like a dire beast type of gameplay, and
nice.
Animal Companion was nerfing them for a bit, so they're working on the numbers on that.
Okay. All right. In that case, I guess the only other thing that I found, or I'm kind of curious about, is the fact that we got a high explosive trap. I mean, that was a talent, and now it's over in the tree, in the general tree. Is that a good thing, or?
It's arguably unusable.
Yeah. I don't know when you could ever even play it.
Because they put it on Intim as a choice node, and I don't see a game unless you're playing with maybe a rogue where you could ever not take Intim.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually forgot. Yeah, like honestly, I actually even forgot that they put it in the tree.
It's the same thing with binding
like
shot.
RPG thing, maybe.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with binding shots. Like, binding shots are really good now, but it's on scatter, so it's like.
I mean, binding is like actually playable though. I do think that binding is playable, like depending on what comp you're playing. For sure. I don't think binding is like super.
If you have like a holy priest or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe you just don't need the scatter.
But I think like if you're playing 2s, for example, and you're playing with like a disc priest, I think binding is really really cool to have.
Yeah, it'd be better there. It's like in 2s, like I think binding is gonna be a lot better.
I mean, even 3s, depending on like what you're really against. But I think it also depends on what comp you're playing and like what your team really needs.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun that it's actually usable, like to both, both scatter and binding.
Binding seems like it has like more value to it.
I wonder what they could do to make Knock Trap more viable though. It seems
make it not do damage.
Yeah, make it not do damage and lower the cooldown on it too. Like its cooldown has been like so high. Like I don't know. I feel like nothing's been as good as like the mod version of it.
Yeah,
because even the WOD version, it was like
bugged.
It didn't work.
I mean, wasn't
properly,
like the WOD version like very very fast though?
It was fast as instant, but the thing is, if you were an inch out of line, that thing didn't work.
Yeah, like it didn't work out of line of sight, which is like what the mob one did. So you could like knock people around pillars if they were lining, but you can't like do that. And then like random little fucking pillars and stuff like that.
I mean, maybe if they remove the target cap as well on Knock Trap.
But there's a target cap. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, there's only 5 boys in the building that you can hit.
Yeah, I didn't actually even know that.
Nah, there's like way too many times you try to like knock someone away from like a DHDK, and then like, oh shit, I knocked away all of the pets. Like the same thing with like.
Oh yeah,
like
okay, never mind. I recant. That talent is completely unusable then. If it's
Yeah,
only
well,
5
actually did.
players.
You actually can't use that if it's target capped.
Super fun.
Yeah, because there's too much now as well that just has like that on it.
Yeah.
So are they keeping target cap? Because the whole reason why target cap came in to play was because of all the mythic plus dungeon
Nah, but
shenanigans.
I think Nocturne
But
has had a 5 target cap for the longest time. Same
Yeah,
thing with
it's
like
it's
Psychic
it,
Scream.
yeah. It's like the fears having that, like it kind of makes, I don't know. I mean, nowadays it doesn't make as much
Does
sense
not-
for some of them
Yeah,
because
let me
like
see. Does it
if
even
it's like
say in the tooltip? I kind of want to Google it.
yeah, for the
Yeah,
others,
no.
for
Oh no,
fear
it
it
doesn't
does.
say in the tooltip for a explosive trap. That's why I didn't know it did that.
Yeah, but with like
Okay.
with
Oh, yeah, it
things
says
like the
5.
pre-sphere, like it made more sense when it was like things like, like it was interesting if you have like snake trap or something to eat it, but like now it's like you have DKs and they just passively, like I don't know. It's not like there's like any
Yeah.
like thought process on the global, so it's like you have that or like Demo Waxers have a bunch of pets. A lot of specs just have like a bunch of these like pets that are just summoned without
But it even says
just
on the
rotationally.
tooltip knocking all enemies away. But I know for a fact that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
Well,
Well then, maybe
we-
that's a. So here's a question, and this is just something because I saw this in Twitter and I don't disagree with it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of historical PvP tuning that's in the back end that's been around for, well, pretty much since they put in PvP tuning back in Legion or whatever. Like, do you
Mhm.
think they should reset all those and then like baseline
Yes.
to retune?
Yeah, I think they
I
did that
don't
at the
know.
start of Dragonflight. I mean, there's some things that are just gonna be busted, but like that was what happened at the start of Dragonflight, and then rogues are a little bit too crazy. I mean, that's why in
No,
rogues this
that
entire
it,
expansion.
it didn't do it because Bestial Rat the entire first season was completely nerfed still, so they
Oh
didn't
yeah,
revert
but it was only
everything.
Wait,
some
wasn't it
things though.
buffed in the beginning with the because it said on the tooltip like you can only break like your pet can only
No,
break
I'm not
with a
talking about
fear
that. I'm
mark.
I'm
Oh
talking
yeah, you
about
mean
the
like oh yeah,
the
true. They're
the
like
damage
25 to
portion.
20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
that's
So
true. That's true.
Bestial Wrath has worked the same way for your pet the entire time. I don't know why the tooltip doesn't reflect that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Very fucking strange.
Because I remember people telling me it's like it wasn't like that in Legion. Like I'm telling you, as a
It was
professional
always
prop,
It's always been
as
like
a
that.
professional prop pally BM player, I worked like that. I know for a fact that's how it worked.
Yeah,
Big gamer.
Are you gonna get canceled now for saying that you played with prop pallies and happy about it?
Oh, I played a prop paladin too, and I
Oh,
played a prop warrior.
Legendary.
My first 17-15 twos ever was this Blood DK Mistweaver. I don't care. I love
yeah, but
tanks.
you're like not as good as Stun and Bung at it, so why do you even try?
You guys.
That's true.
All right.
That's true.
Let's talk marksman. Back to you, SSDS. What are you happy about?
I like that there's an interesting true shot build you can do with crit increase and crit damage increase, and you can proc a true shot, and you can do some big damn with that. I love the 2-set that they're getting, which is your arcane shot crits make your aim shot go big fast. It makes it like half the cast time, which is really nice.
That
So
sounds
that's like that was like the biggest issue with marksman is that you needed mastery to do damage, but you also needed haste to ever get a cast off. So it's like
Yeah.
it took till season 4 of the Shadowlands for it to really work in a feasible way because you could finally get the haste you needed and you get the mastery.
Yeah, I mean both is like important, and then like sticky one crit too. I don't know. It's got this like weird conflict.
Yeah, but now you can just kind of ignore haste because if you get enough arcane shot crits, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That's a very
That's
nice
true.
thing about it.
Yeah, like
That's
I mean, it looks like they made like some things like better with it, but I'm not sure. It's like it feels like an improved version on this design. I'm not really sure how much like I actually like the style of marksman. It's like
I mean, then again, you have a stun as well, which seems like
yeah,
super
I mean
cool.
having this like it seems like the style that they've been like trying to push since like BFA is definitely going to be like the most improved version of it. I'm just not sure if it's like the version of playing marks that I'm like the most interested in. I'm not really sure. Like I'd have to like try it out. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there's like certain things about playing marks that's just fun in general, but I'm not like entirely sold. Like we're actually like feel based on that.
So here's a question for the marksman. I remember the big thing was always get rid of your pet, and then you did more damage. Is that still going to be a thing for Dragonflight? Are we going to be playing that without a pet, or are you going to still play with pets?
So if you're doing high rated PvP, you pretty much always play with a pet. The only time I didn't play with a pet was into like double caster because I wanted to just sit back and do way more damage. But
Yeah, like
especially
that's
now,
always been my problem too. Like I don't like that it's like your damage is balanced around that because it's like in PvP, it's like your pet is like so important to you that
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, in Dragonflight, you can't. I don't think you can afford the talent point to take it. Compared to what you can get other way.
Yeah,
I
because
feel like maybe there is
the
like
only
something
thing
you can drop for it.
like the only thing I was looking at was like maybe that crit chance talent is like okay, but it's like I don't know if it's just worth taking a worthless like you're spending 3 talent points for like 10% crit damage. I don't know if that's like worth it basically. It's like yeah, I don't know. I've never really felt super sold on playing
Playing
you know, is it
petless.
like yeah, I don't know. It just seems that it's
Yeah.
like like anytime I would ever play MM, people would be like, I don't know, why are you playing your pet? Like that's why you're losing, you not playing your pet, and it's just like, bro, like
I think there's like
Yeah.
some sketchy matchups. Like maybe if you're into like SP Athlete, where like you
That
don't
that
really
that
need
tho-
Ross.
those would be the exact comps, like because it just having
yeah,
a pet benefits them, and
Yeah,
it's
so it's
also
like no
just
way.
like.
They
But like
don't
I
really
also
want
want
to
to
have
be on a
anything.
pillar anyway, doing max dam, so I might as well be lone wolf.
True.
yeah.
I think lone wolf would be a more interesting prospect if they let us dismiss pets in arena, so you could like kind of pick
I mean
and
that
choose when you
also
wanted it.
100%. It's actually so disgusting you can't get rid of your pet in the arena.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Well, also like the thing is too is like even if you start without your pet too into some things, it's like the thing I've never like someone's like, oh, why don't you just like open with Lone Wolf? It's like it's a global to summon your pet too, and it's a long global, so it's like sort of awkward, right? Like putting yourself
Yeah.
on like on a long global is 100. Like if you instantly need a pet stack or need to instantly react, like it's actually bad. I feel like
Kinda agree.
because it's like an unhasted global.
Like unless maybe
wait. Is that
if
what
you're
that guy
like
just typed
curing
in
or
chat?
something. Like
True.
right now you can do it, but it's like very
Yeah.
sketchy.
So I just want to point out.
lose the
So,
cost time anymore.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I just pasted into the show notes there for you guys to look, but there's an updated 2-set. So the 2-set bonus is arcane shot and multi-shot crit hits cause your next aim shot to cause a bleed for 40% more damage over 6 seconds.
Oh, Markson's crap then. Markson now
Yeah.
runs into the same issue you just had in all of
Yeah.
Shadowlands.
Yeah.
I mean, bra moment. Well, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
serrated shots gets more value. Wow.
I mean, they already did the bleed though. Is the thing. It was also the cast
yeah, but
time
now
reduction.
it's like even more damn. Now it's like disgusting big damn, right?
Yeah, it's 40% instead of 20%.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Um,
That's pretty not great. God, alright.
Alrighty then.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, there's no way they actually did it right.
So
Guess
so
they
now
have.
now while SSDS has to go and cry in the corner for a bit, let's talk about survival.
Sure who?
I'm going to start with you, Bicmex. What are you
Uh-huh.
excited about in the survival
say,
tree?
like, The biggest thing right now is that I feel like there's so many different like type of builds you can go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like it seems like I mean, very hard to say. So the one that you're showing on screen right now is more of like a setup base. That's why I have the sentinel arrow.
Yeah.
And then the second one is like if you want to do like big sustain damage, but you don't want to press serpent sting manually because you have viper's venom. And then the other one is like a sustained build, but you do want to press serpent sting manually.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's very hard to know like which one is gonna be the best. Because at the moment, currently, I don't know if it's bugged or anything, but kill command does a lot of damage, and I don't know if it's supposed to do this much damage. So it seems like having alpha predator is pretty mandatory right now, from what it seems. But I mean, this could change depending on how everything looks.
Yeah, like that's what I think.
Um,
Like I feel like you need Alpha Predator, right? Like
Yeah. But I feel like you might probably just go like energetic ally without alpha predator next like once you get the tier set, because they just
Oh,
buffed it to a 20% chance to make it to 50% more damage and cost no focus, like your next mongoose bite.
yeah.
That seems so, it seems so stupid.
Yeah.
Because like if you ever get like any amount of uptime, you'll just completely rail everyone.
Yeah, I kind of at least like where it's like you're kind of rewarded for uptime. Like that's kind of what I like.
Yeah.
So because there's been like this thing where it's like they haven't really balanced it well. Like I feel like a range damage should be like something that like pokes people, but I feel like we should have some kind of way to like
Yeah.
actually stay in.
I kind of like the fact that survival became more melee orientated.
Yeah.
In Dragonflight, especially with the fact that we have 3-yard range, which is
Mhm.
unbelievably disgusting.
Yeah, because that's what we had in Legion too.
Yeah,
when-
it's
with
like
the
super
extra
fucking
polar.
gross. Also a range slow, my god. And then
Yeah.
tar
Wait,
trap route
no,
that is
no, we
not
do.
on the route they
It's not
are,
it's not a
bro.
range though, by the way. The
It
conch
is
shot.
conch shot.
Are you, yeah, doesn't it turn into wing clip?
No,
it
but
isn't.
if you talented the conch, it replaces wing clip.
Yeah, it replaces wing clip, which is like
Yeah,
a bit.
so all 3 specs have wing clip baseline. You take conch shot.
Okay, so they changed it.
replace
So you
it.
do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I wonder though is the fact that like
So-
right now
okay.
Cobra shot and Steady shot increases the duration. I wonder if Mongoose Bite
Yeah,
will
like I
increase
feel
the
like
duration.
I feel like that would make it like more worthwhile.
I mean, it's
It-
still
it-
gonna be better in my opinion.
Yeah, my other grip is like, are there ever times where it's like better? I guess it's not better, like because there's no cooldown on wing clip. It's just a focus
Yeah.
cost, but obviously the
feel
focus
is
cost
okay.
is like hard.
The one thing is like if you want to harpoon wing clip a healer to like go for a trap, then it's gonna be kind of aids to have concussive shot because it's like a CD if they like remove it or something.
Yeah,
But
that's
I mean,
like I actually
overall,
wanted it to be like how it is like with Wrath and Kata, where you
yeah,
have
I wish you had both. If you had both, that would be really really sick. But I mean, I guess it's fine that it replaces it. Like it's not really the end of the world, but it's like it's okay, I guess.
yeah. I just feel like this is like something interesting to have like to actually have both
Yeah.
for all the specs. Like I feel like I wish it was like that where everyone just had wing clip baseline and you could just take that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then I
Alright.
feel like one of the biggest things as well is like us having a 40% wall with the
Yeah. Yeah, like
survival
I think
statistics.
I think that one's like actually pretty big.
Super cool.
And it's off coolable, I'm pretty sure too, right?
Yeah,
But,
it is.
yeah, I think
Well,
that's
Oh,
like
yeah,
something
also like
repeated.
yeah, the one that I picked here, like the one that you're showing on screen, doesn't have that talent, but that's only because this is like a setup based type of thing. Because I wanted to have the sentinel. This is like, oh, I'm playing thug cleave, and then my rogue can step the healer through the pillar. That's kind of like the plan that this build is like supposed to be. But if I'm
My
playing
biggest thing is
jungle,
it
this
seems
would
like
not be like the build that I would go.
the only thing about the
Yeah,
Sentinel
you were
arrow,
saying
like
this one.
it feels super awkward. Like it doesn't seem at all like Kyrian arrow.
I
Like
mean, they
with
have kind of buffed it though for survival. You only need a 150 focus to get 1 second, and they also removed the cap that like you only need to like because the way that it worked before is that you need a minimum of 6 seconds, I think, before you could use it. But I think they removed the cap, so if you just spend 150 focus, you can just put out your arrow for 1 second, and
yeah,
that's like
and they
kind of
can.
all you need to like go for a, you know. And it's off global, so technically you could just like
But the problem though too that I have is like even when you can get your guy to do that, it's like they might not be able to reconnect back with
nah,
you.
yeah. But I feel like it could be good to just like harpoon trap the healer through the wall or, or
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know. I feel like
yeah, no, you're
Sentinel
not
is like
wrong.
a spell I need to play around with a lot to really get like a feel if I like it or not. But
Yeah, I
especially
think you're
because it
right.
hasn't been working on the beta the entire time. Like no one has been able to test it. So yeah.
Yeah, so you
do,
can't.
do either of you guys understand what the unhindered vision part of the Sentinel's perception is? Like, I don't understand what that does.
It's the Kieran arrow.
It's the
Yeah.
Kieran arrow.
Oh,
It also
okay.
makes it so your teammates can like see people through the wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The way that I think it works is like not in the way that the Kieran arrow works, where like you put down a big area on the floor and then you can see people through it.
Yeah, you put
The way
an
that I'm
owl down.
Yeah, the
and
way that I'm
then-
like interpreting it is like you put the owl and then whatever the owl sees, you also see. So you have to like do it around the corner.
Oh, have
instead
you
of,
not
like...
played the most recent beta build? It works on now in the beta.
Oh wait, does
So
it?
yeah, so it literally works like Kieran arrow. You just drop a reticle down,
Oh.
and in the reticle you can you
How
just
big
see the
is it?
target. I think it's just the same size as Kieran arrow. But the only thing, okay, so
But
there's
that's really
two.
taggers.
So there's two things about it. One, I like it more than Kieran arrow because it doesn't do damage. So if
That's
you need to place
also
it,
that's really big.
but
The fact that it doesn't do
the thing
damage.
that's kind of scuffed about it is it does. Like, you know how like, if you walked out of Kieran arrow, you had 4 seconds still left on it. You don't.
Uh-huh.
You immediately lose it if they walk out of it.
Yeah,
So
of
you're
course.
definitely only using it for the loss protection, like if they port
Mhm.
or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like how I've been thinking about using it. I feel like it's very awkward for someone like a MM hunter to like, oh, let me just spend like 1,500 focus and then I can like aim shot some people through the wall. Like, I feel like that's very, very awkward. I think it's mostly a thing where you can like just put down the sentinel arrow, scatter someone through the wall, walk around the wall and then trap them or something like that. Or
Yeah.
just being
Yeah.
able to like harpoon through or something. but it doesn't give your pet loss, right? Like your pet can't see them.
The
I
only
haven't
way is I think is
tested
if he gave it the.
Yeah, because if you can pet stun through the wall, I feel like that would be very, very good. But I don't know if you can do that.
Well,
Pretty
the
sure
other
it
thing is
doesn't.
it's like awkward to like trap through the wall too because of like camera angles as well.
I mean, yeah.
It's
Wait,
like
I wonder.
it's like you
Wait,
can,
if
but
you
like
have the sentinel arrow with the party members thing, I wonder if that's like your pet.
yeah,
Ooh.
no, that your pet
Maybe.
counts as like a party member for usually party member
Ah,
stuff. So I don't see
I
why it
mean,
wouldn't.
maybe.
Like usually any effect that's like whatever party members, you could do it like that. Like I mean, even think about misdirect, right? That only works on like raider party members, but it works on your pet.
That's true.
Okay. Love it. I love it all. This sounds like there's lots of options. Actually, I want to, because I know Dillon, you had actually made a tree where you had left open one spot because you were thinking that there'd be some, some playability there, some options.
Oh yeah, like with a couple of them. Yeah, for like the general one I made, I don't know if it's up there right now,
Bring it up
cause
right now.
yeah, I'm not really sure where you would put it. So in the regular tree, I just have like one slot that was open. So, yeah, I had to point this point for like utility, cause we can all have interlope now. So if we all can have interlope as all the specs, then like that means misdirect has like some value. I think.
Mhm.
Like I'm pretty sure you
Mhm.
have to take misdirect to take it. So like if you're ever gonna take misdirect, that would be good. And I think interlope actually gets more value as survival than it would have ever gotten as the other specs because like it has such a short range on its effect. So like if you want to interlope your like somehow just do something for yourself. I don't know. Like whenever you're melee when you're in there, like I feel like that's a little bit better. You're gonna be more all in as survival.
Mhm.
So I figured that like could be useful or like scare based depending on what you're fighting. I mean, I've scare beast has always been like one of my favorite abilities. So obviously, it's like niche. I'm like not really that happy that it's a talent choice because of that reason. Because then it's like, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
hard.
I feel
It's
like
like
it's
hard
kind
to
of
judge.
awkward
It's like
sometimes.
situation. Yeah, I mean, it's just like times that you could take it, but it's like weird, to get that situational use.
Well, I think the same thing could be said about camouflage. I mean, some of the trees you guys had camouflage, some of you didn't, right? Like sometimes you need it,
Yeah,
sometimes you don't.
yeah. At least I'm like more sold on uh camo, like something like camo. Like I feel like that's something that I probably almost would always take because I just like having it in the openers.
Okay.
I mean, there are definitely like situations which you can drop camo though,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I mean it's just something I like to have, like get over. Like if you're playing like jungle or something, it depends on your comp, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I guess out of all the talent trees,
Oh yeah. Also, I left a
sorry.
point open in the regular tree too. So in
Yeah.
a survival tree, like I actually thought that maybe the bombarder talent could be good, or sorry, the
Oh, you mean the like
bombardier.
in the bottom?
Yeah, like
I
cause on it.
swear it's so awkward without having like infusion. You get way too many bombs. Like it's
Oh
like
right, we're not
impossible
getting
to like spend them
infusion.
all.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I actually realized. Yeah, I actually forgot. Yeah, so not having that,
I
then
feel like that last one might be. I mean, either
yeah,
like
actually I need
energetic
infusion for that to
ally
be valuable. So
or the 1 second CD of your bomb.
yeah, I swear I had some build where I was actually getting both. I don't remember how I think I just took out some of Mongoose Bite damage to get. Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's the
can.
problem.
Yeah, you probably like take 2 points out of spear focus and 1 out of tactical advantage.
Yeah, something like that if you wanted it. Yeah, I swear I had a build earlier. I don't know, maybe they changed around. I
It's
remember having
possible.
both of them. Yeah, I remember having like both of them, like when I was messing around with the testing, where I actually liked coordinated kill when I was having wildfire infusion,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like explosives expert that much compared to. I was like, well, explosives expert's not as good, but I don't know. I feel like this is still like kind of decent to at least have the coordinated kill. But even okay, the thing is though too, even if you don't have that, if you have bombardier, it's like the kill shot, right? So you
Yeah.
get your kill shots from the bombs, which is also kind of good.
Okay.
The one thing that I'm kind of wondering though is like I don't know if it's worth it to put because like at that point because like all of the builds that I've made I only put 1 point into coordinated kill instead of 2, and I wonder is it actually worth it to spend? So then you're spending 1 point
Well,
extra and
it gives
then
that extra
one.
kill shot reduction though too with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I wonder if it's like worth to put 5 points basically to just make your coordinated assault stronger, when I feel like it's already like kind of a strong spell already.
I mean, the biggest
Yes.
thing is just giving yourself kill shot access, right?
Yeah.
And then having that. I think that's like my biggest thing. I feel like giving kill shots some value seems like it's worth it. At least it's like if you wanted like a strong kill window, having that because we
Yeah,
don't
for
really have
sure.
it. I mean, we don't have like we don't have like any of the mechanics to just go with skill shots like we do right now, right?
Uh-huh.
Like I
The
feel
thing
like
is,
that
like,
could
I'm
improve.
just kind of scared of like getting CC'd because well, it's like if I put this many points into my coordinated assault and then I get CC'd, then it's gonna feel so bad.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of
Yeah.
depends on like the value of it though, because it's like if you can just kind of hold on to it for when you need it, it's like gonna be worth it. You're not really gonna lose
True,
that
that's
much
true.
because you can. It looks like you can kind of play around. I mean, I kind of like the gap closer thing that they put on into our burst cooldowns. Like the biggest thing, I'm not like I
Same.
don't like that they're on global. Honestly, I think the biggest problem too is like I think so. I feel like at this point they should have tried to rework Sorrel's mastery and give us like a baseline like just 1 second global cooldown because I think they could have made the spec a little bit more engaging that way. I don't like the
I agree.
reliance on haste because it's like later on in the expansion, it's like you needed a certain amount of haste for it to feel like oh you could play like these builds where you're using globals for things like mongoose bite. It feels like really clunky with the longer global. Like if you have a 1.5 second global and you try to use mongoose bite, it
That is like
feels
actually just unplayable. Yeah.
yeah, like it feels terrible and like that it just seems awkward. And then it's like because of that, mastery is already a bad stat, and it's like how could you ever justify taking mastery over like quite literally anything?
Yeah. I mean,
think
especially now that we even have like crit damage increase and then crit. Like I feel like crit is gonna be like pretty good stat.
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
like I feel like yeah, exactly. I feel like case and crit
There's
are
almost like
good.
no synergy with mastery whatsoever, and then especially because the healing portion feels so random as well.
Yeah, it's like
It just
terrible.
got like grandfathered in. There's like no reason to even be there. It's just like, well, it was there in the past, so
Yeah,
gotta stay.
yeah,
Maybe because
that's
we have survival in the name, so like, well, we have to keep it because you technically survive. Wow, cool.
yeah. I mean, surviving all right. Yeah, that's something that it's definitely.
So
I don't know. I feel like that's like the
Wowie,
thing. It's like
wow.
arguably the worst at over the other stuff.
Yeah.
So honestly, it sounds like you guys like you still have love for the spec, but it still has some clunkiness to it. I
Yeah.
know we were kind of talking off screen before we started here. SSDS Logan, like you said that you would never touch survival because of its clunkiness, right?
I'm most likely not gonna. I might do it just to have some info on it, but for the most part, I have no interest to really play the spec.
Well, this is the problem too.
I have a
It's like
BM gamer in the building.
it's
Yeah.
like the same problem.
Unironically, after the marksman nerf, yeah, I'm unironically a BM gamer.
Wait, have you seen how much damage you can even do in stealth nowadays? By the way, as a BM hunter.
The camo, yeah, you probably can kill
Bro,
people.
You can. That ass. I even did it like on stream because you can use the Is it called bloodletting?
Bloodshed.
Yeah, bloodshed.
Wow.
Yeah, you can use bloodshed and you can use Call of the Wild while you're in stealth.
I'm not gonna lie, you're really not convincing me to try survival at all. You're
Dude,
making
I
me
don't
feel
know.
like I just wanna play BM.
I actually you can like one shot people while you're in stealth. You can summon everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh-huh.
this is the problem with Sorrel. So that's actually why I think the global cooldown thing is. I feel like clunkiness goes away once you have enough haste. Like this has always been the problem. Even
Yeah.
this expansion.
But for me, it's not even clunkiness. I just don't understand what the spec is supposed to do. It just feels like it. Just,
I mean
it's just,
that's like a problem that survival has always had. It just like
Yeah.
ends up it just like works out or it doesn't. Like half
But,
of the
like,
reason
it-
why I feel like it's been like in Legion for example, like it felt like it was like I like playing because it's like oh it didn't feel that pruned, but like it also felt like it was unpruned because they just like didn't really think about it at all and they just like
Yeah.
forgot to keep you know what I mean? Like they're just like oh we're making it melee and then they just announced that and they're like okay
Yeah,
let's
so,
call
like,
it a
that-
day.
like,
I mean, in
that's-
Legion
that's
though, it
what-
was like so weird.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Dragonflight survival feels to me. It feels like it's Legion. It feels like it's just a bunch of ideas thrown together with no real idea in mind of how it's actually supposed to play.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they started working on it to give it a direction because the first few beta builds were like really horrendous. Like it basically like
I mean, yeah, that wasn't even like a
like
thing.
when you first saw it, you looked at like the rig trees and you're like someone did like their doctoral thesis on the rogue talent trees, and then you looked at the hunter trees, and it looked like someone like was on like a 10-day coke binge and like made them in like 5 seconds and
Yeah,
called
it's
it
just
a
like the
morning.
janitors.
It's
like,
it's
Well,
it's
his
it's,
job.
like, yeah, it's just like it's
I've-
like, oh shit, I forgot to do this.
I mean,
Guys,
oh,
oh
shit,
oh,
how
I've,
dude,
I've, no,
just-
but the thing is, I've also even tried it more recently when like the new iteration of the build out, and it's still just like, maybe just because of number tuning, but the way you played was just flanking strike, explosive, pop your cooldowns. You don't really do anything else outside of bombs. It's like weird.
I kind of liked how like the mongoose biting felt though. Like I
Yeah,
like
I
the spearhead
swear
as a
it kinda
cooldown.
goes
That's
hard.
that's kind of what
That's
I was
just-
like.
that's just me, though.
Every time I pressed Mongo Bite, it felt like I wasn't. I felt like I was tickling them.
Dude, have you seen Mongoose Bite damage right now though?
Have they changed it? Has it been like changed? Because from when
Dude,
I played,
I don't know.
it was
Like a 5 stack is like a 40k crit.
Yeah, and you can get 5. The thing is, you can get 5 stacks like more reliably now, which is the other thing that I feel is pretty
Oh,
good.
with a range low and also 3-yard range. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, it's like between that and just like
And the Tartra Brute. Oh
all
my
the
God.
talents seem to like help you support it. Like you have ways to just stay in melee range more. Having flinging strike gives you like extra focus. Like there's just other things that help out a lot, which I
Yeah.
think is like kind of nice. So there's like more ways to like get you in there to doing it. It just like it needs to be adjusted a bit better. It's the problem. Like I see
Mhm.
some potential. I mean, it just depends. Like maybe they just don't do more.
What-
But also,
what
I think I
Sorry.
think my biggest gripe is too like the reason why like I mostly care about playing like Sorrel is like I feel like I'm not like super happy of like any of the range versions of Hunter, even if they're like kind of acceptable. But it's like we have like Wrath out, and I feel like if I really want to play like a version of Range Hunter that I'm gonna like, I'll just play that. And like I've kind of liked Sorrel for like what it is on live, even if it's like weird. Because like it just feels like something different. Like when I play like the specifically full on range specs, like I'm not really getting like that enjoyment like brought out of it. It's like with like Wrath Classica, it's like I feel like if I really am like, oh yeah, I want to play this version of Hunter, I'll just do that. I mean, honestly, like my
Mhm.
ideal version of WoW would have like some of like the older versions of like the range Hunter specs. They seem like they've been like better, and then just like let me have like Survival as like some off spec to play too. Because I mean, I'm not necessarily like leaned like I don't necessarily have to play the melee or range version because I don't even feel like Survival's ever been like a full on melee anyways. Like it still has like it still feels like pretty Hunter like even though it's like a melee class, which like I'm
Yeah.
okay with.
I feel like it was like Legion when it's like last time where it was like really melee. I feel like ever since
And,
ever
but,
since
but even
then, both BFA and this expansion, it's been kind of more like range orientated. Especially this season when you can just like spam kill command
Yeah.
and bomb and kill shot all day long. Like you don't necessarily need to raptor strike people that much.
I like playing Mongoose Bite though a lot this season since we have a lot of haste. Like I feel like it's kind of good
Yeah,
into like
Gerissar,
Resto Druids because like when you fight Resto Druids, they like you have to deal with like Mark of the Wild and stuff. So that already kind of like
Oh no,
you know
not the Mark of
it's
the Wild. Fuck.
well I mean it really does reduce your damage though like
it
a lot
really
because
does, man. It's
it actually double dips a lot. So it's like you're actually getting more pressure on them if you're getting like Mongoose Bite on them. And it's like some of their melee cleaves, like you can't really get them off of you forever anyway. So it's like if you're actually getting Mongoose Bite value, it's kind of like you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Like I can't deal with it. But
I guess I have 2 main issues. Is one like that, like oh you don't want to rush strike. It's like why am I playing the melee spec for? Because I don't have a range kick or anything, so I at least want to be doing melee damage. But also I could be biased in my dislike of survival because in my opinion they got rid of the best version of Hunter I've ever played.
yeah,
played,
yeah.
so
But
it's
I feel like
have
that
I
is
feel
like
like
very fair though.
But I feel like that's like everyone's like actual main critique. But I feel like their problem is literally just that they got rid of that and never that they implemented it. Because it's like the same exact. This is the same reason why it's like, well, I would just play both if I had an option where I could play both.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that like yeah we get like they're just like different specs.
I don't know.
Like,
I've
that's the
also
biggest-
been like you said. I've also just been. I was really hoping Dragonflight would just be a huge overhaul of Hunter, and it kind of just wasn't.
Yeah. It's like they started doing it and they were giving like a ton of like they were like really interactive and then they just like stopped. Like they were seriously super into it and then out of nowhere it just
Just flopped.
yeah.
I think they ran out of time, honestly, and there was a bunch of pressures to go back to some of the like Druid. I think they're the first tree that came out, and then they weren't even touched for the longest time. So
Oh yeah, so the thing that happened with the Druid tree
Didn't
was
they
I
quit or something?
don't know if he quit or got fired or moved off, but yeah, the guy who made the Druid and the Priest tree was no longer working on it, so I believe they were trying to find someone else to finish it.
Oof.
and it reflects on how bad the Druid General Challenge tree is. It's actually I think it's worse than what Survival's first actual talent tree was. It's actually awful.
I feel like it's just extremely awkward. Like, how are you even supposed to get Cyclone? And Hibernate is like literally impossible to get.
You take Moonkin form, and you just have to have a dead ability.
Super
It's really
exciting.
bad.
I have to pick like
Love it.
5 dead talents just to get Cyclones. Like, okay, that feels
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, I think my biggest thing is too is like, if I really want to play Range Hunter, I feel like like the problem is like Classic just does a better job of what I want anyways. So I'm like hard pressed to find. Like
Dillon.
I want to have something new to play.
Dillon,
You know?
Are, are you one of those hunters that likes to sit back and just like have the audio on so you can just hear the bow twang as you auto shot?
Well, I have always played with audio because I feel like in-game audio, like I know like a lot of the audio cues. I don't know. I've kind of like always played with them.
Yeah.
Like it's like harder in newer expansions because sometimes there's just like some extra like filter like I don't know.
yeah.
But like
Like the
I don't know,
Undead
like-
Raptor just like completely destroying your ears.
I don't know. And it's not even that one like bothers me because
The
like
little
there's
rodents.
always been like obnoxious pets. I feel like it's just like some classes just have like really like clustered audio. This like
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like okay, like for example, like Sorrel Hunter kick has like no discernible audio, but like other kicks like a rogue kick, like you can actually tell if like someone kicked, they give a rogue kick to you just by its audio, or like Counterspell has like distinct audio. Like some of these older things, they had like good audios.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Totally.
yeah,
Totally.
I mean I've always played with like in-game sound for that reason.
Alright. I just know that there's always that conversation people have of hearing the bow twang over the gunshot, and just like there's some people that
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I mean the gunshot has like probably one of the worst audios ever.
I've learned one of the worst things though in Classic is if you are spamming your buttons, you hear that bow twang a lot.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
that
It's
also.
real annoying.
doing.
There's
This is why I
makes
have
me
not
makes me
played
appreciate
with
the
game
guns.
sound.
Oh, you don't, because here's the thing, you don't hear the doing. You hear like the
the
They're like,
pullback.
you're pulling it back, so you
Yeah.
hear the
Yeah, yeah.
crank over
Like when you just
and
like
over again.
spam steady shot.
And
Yeah.
it really makes me wish I would have had a gun, because the gun's not as annoying as that.
Wait, I swear there's like some setting where it's like not like that bad. I don't know, because I swear I don't even notice that.
You probably just don't mash your button like I do.
No, I mean I'm like mashing it, but I don't actually like.
Could just be that you've gotten used to it. Who knows?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. I swear I'm not hearing it being mashed. I
Oh,
swear
I
there's
swear.
like I swear there's like some setting though, because I remember sometimes that would happen like on private servers. Like I don't know what audio setting. I don't know if I like said something, but I definitely don't hear things like repeatedly going off. I hear it way more in like TBC if I spammed anything, but not now.
Interesting.
Like, because I remember like in TBC like you could clip your like autos with your like study. Now they go on at the same time.
Mhm.
Since then I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't actually notice it at all though.
That was a neat rabbit hole I wasn't expecting to go down, but that's
Yeah.
who knew audio
Talking about
sounds
some
was going to
audio.
be. Yeah.
Perfect.
Another rabbit hole I would love to go down is, instead of just glazing over a couple items, why don't we actually talk deeply into this firstly the BM tree here with SSDS. What's we kind of superficially talked about things you were excited for, but what did you pick here and why? I'm really kind of curious.
Alright, so the BM tree, let me whip that up here. Okay,
Alright.
so I'll start with the general tree. So obviously with the general tree, you'll take your kill shot, to take concussive shot. Those are pretty mandatory, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely need your post haste, just another mandatory. I take natural mending because I always like natural mending now, even on retail, but they like buffed it. They literally just buffed it by 100%. So instead of 1 second every 25 focus, it's 1 second every 12 focus. So kill command gives you 2 second cooldown reduction on your exil, which is
My biggest gripe with it
beyond
is it's still an
crazy.
unhasted global. I hate that part
Yeah,
about it.
I fucking hate
That's why I
that.
always hate
Acceleration
it.
1.5 GCD.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but-
it's like
oh
and it's
well.
like fake because you use like a 1 second global and then you think that it's available and you press it and it's like unavailable. Like that actually throws me off so much.
Yeah, but natural mending is definitely giga now.
Unbelievably sad.
Then you'll just take counter shot, so you can get tar trap and the wall. You'll take the 40% wall, just because you know the 30-second cooldown reduction on 20% wall is pretty not great. So I don't see any point in taking that. So I just grab the 40% wall because it's just a lot better.
Yeah, and I think we're also like a
Mhm.
40% wall for us is like way better.
Yeah,
Freeze
and
that on the
then
go.
Yeah, for
cooldown
sure,
trap
skis.
trap cooldown reduction, Entrapment's really, really nice. It does unfortunately, I think, kill Steel Trap as a talent, but it's
It
very
doesn't.
nice to have a
It
root.
actually doesn't put. It's not on root DR with anything.
Yeah.
Then Steel Trap isn't as dead as I thought, but I feel like if I have Entrapment, I don't really need Steel Trap,
Yeah.
especially as
I mean,
maybe
and
it's
also
survival.
it doesn't DR with itself either, which is kind of fun.
Oh,
Oh,
If you have
neat.
like
Yeah.
a trap, if you have like a tar trap on the floor and then you wait, and then someone walks into it, then you can like re-trap them.
oh, so you can like against like a melee clip, you can just sit on a pillar,
Hell
tar trap
yeah! You can
yourself,
like
and
root
just
someone
double
for like
tar.
8 seconds.
Yeah.
Super
That's
exciting.
why I kind of just took it too, because I feel like it's still.
I mean,
So
it's
yeah,
so good.
And then you'll snatch Trank Shot, and you'll snap the focus from Trank Shot mainly because it's you need that to get down to Alpha Predator down there, but also you need it to even progress in the tree. I take Rejuvenating Winds. I'm not too sold on Rejuvenating Winds, at least on my gameplay and beta. I never feel like it's doing a lot of healing, but there's also nothing else you can really take.
I feel like having 1 point in the Ment Pet talent is like pretty mandatory.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
you
just
could
me though.
you could do that. You could take 1 point out of
Sometimes you
Rejuvenating
can-
Wind.
Sometimes
and
you
put it
can
in the-
move the pet talent away. Like if you're fighting like an Affleck, you don't want to have the
Like-
pet talent, which is kind of weird because you
Well, the
don't
thing
want.
is, it doesn't dispel. Wait, it doesn't silence the hunter. I'm pretty sure. I think it's the. Well, I mean, actually, I don't know.
No, it because that's the way it worked when you had it in your.
I guess
in-
you would
in
have
WoD.
to. You would
Wait, I
have to
wonder how it
test
is into like SP, so you just like don't disorientate yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean in WoD because your 4 set for PvP
Mm-hmm.
did the same thing. Like it was a men pet dispel, and it would horror and it would horror you and UA silence you. So when you would queue into a warlock or a shadow priest, you would just wear your 2 set instead of your 4 set for PvP.
But
So
yeah,
so you just like have like more versatility or something.
Yeah.
yeah, you'll grab those. We'll grab obviously Intim Scatter, and then you're gonna put 2 points in the Pathfinding. Just because that lets you get down. I actually messed up the tree now, so I have to reopen it so I can see.
No worries. I think you're pretty on point though.
Yeah.
I like honestly I like having the pathfinding anyways. I like the flat move speed. I feel like that's good. Like I feel like Hunter you want to be mobile.
Yeah.
Like having
Mhm.
like having evasive stuff as like Hunter feels like good. I like things that are like active, like you're like actively avoiding things.
Yeah, so then we just get down there. You'll quickly grab Alpha Predator because, like Bicmex was explaining, Kill Command is just doing a lot of damage right now. And with how BM Hunter's gonna be playing, you actually don't press Cobra Shot ever. It's actually really bad if you have to press
Really?
Cobra Shot. Yeah, especially with the amount of Kill Command and Barb Shot resets you can get working in the tandem, and then especially with the new tier set, there's no point to press Cobra Shot. It's a really bad button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like the only time you're ever gonna be pressing Cobra Shot is if you somehow have the most 100% perfect rotation and you never have to use a global on anything else and no one ever lines you and you just get like slightly unlucky with barb shot resets. It's like the only way you'll ever press Cobra Shot.
So
it's
during
like
an
a pretty-
RPG.
Not even then. not even then. But yeah,
Well,
and then
honestly just like in a raid.
and then you'll
Mhm.
grab serrated shots just because 40% or 20% more damage on barb shot than a 40% execute on barb shot. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then you'll grab Keen Sight just so you can grab Death Chakrams because Death Chakrams is really, really good.
Is it actually too much? I say I think that's the other problem is like some of these talents like when you're choosing between Death Chakrams or Explosive Shot. I mean, this has been my gripe with it too. The real choice between them or anything in the last tier is just which one is tuned better because like honestly, they're just like a button that you just press, right? There's nothing like truly like in depth about their gameplay. I think that's like
So
my
I feel like
The
the only
thing with-
like in-depth part is the fact that you can use them into scatter. And it doesn't
oh yeah,
break.
well I think
Yeah.
I think Death Chakrams is more in depth because it's a like it does damage, but it's also a damage amplifier. That's like the main reason why I like it.
well yeah.
It's just-
I mean, I would
So-
argue that explosive shot is more in depth because it can break CCs. So you have to be like more careful when you use that.
Well, I'm talking about just like in like choices like do you want more burst damage like on demand or do you want to have your abilities hit harder overall with Death
Yeah,
Chakrams?
yeah,
That's why
that's facts.
that's why I take it as BM. It's just because during your Beast of Wrath and all that, you put a Death Chakram up, you're gonna do a lot of damage.
But I feel like also explosive shot is mainly just like a talent for survival because they have a talent that increases the damage by 40%. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the other thing. It's like I kind of like want to take it just because of Ranger existing, but then there's
Yeah.
times where it's
So,
like I don't know if
I feel like
actually...
it has to be bad for BM or MM because if it's good for BM or MM, then it has to be like batshit crazy broken for survival because I have a 40% damage amp.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's your general tree. I think you could like I said, you could probably swap rejuvenating wind around to like grab like camo. I don't know if you'd ever grab Sentinel Owl, maybe potentially. And you can maybe take like 1 point in Mem Pet. Sadly, never take Scare Beast. I don't think it's ever worth taking the talent because the only thing you can really fear is a druid, since they're getting rid of Soul Shape, and if a druid gets feared, they're bad.
Well, they're
They're
100
genuinely
pets.
scary.
I guess it depends if they have.
I mean,
undead.
everyone just uses the Undead Raptor now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, and that's not going away. So Raban's staying with us for everybody.
I hecking love Raban.
I love Raban, but
My
man,
boy.
that's been a big issue I have is how pets feel very mandatory, and now that they added an Undead Raptor, you can never not use that guy. He is there
No,
forever.
my biggest gripe is actually that pets are like necessary to be a part of like your DPS rotation. I've hated. Okay, like I've big fan of like basically like wrath pets. Where yeah, wrath mob because your pet is like a utility thing, so you don't need your pet to be like constantly attacking your target. Like it's obviously min maxing to get the extra damage when your pet's there, but it's like your utility, you want to manage it for the utility like you will on a warlock. And I never like, oh yeah, my MS is just on my pet, so my pet has to constantly be there. But it's like, okay, well now your pet defenses are bad, and it's like here's just a great way for your pet to just die. Like it's always bothered me because I feel like there's just so much more depth to be had with like pet management. Like rad pet management is like much higher.
Yeah,
your pet doesn't have to be there all the time, and the defenses are like way better. And then you look at like the current defenses for it, it's like.
Yeah, I will admit that has been one of the biggest learning curves I had playing Wrath is that your pet is not just a press and forget, put it on the target. If it's dying, pull it back.
Yeah, like it's something that you actually manage.
He's like an actual boy.
Yeah, so it's like that's one of the things I've been struggling with is because I got everything else I feel like pretty pet down, but it's just like maxing like my pet charge and my pet intervene stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like something you had to be conscious about. If you haven't played it, like it's weird.
Oh, it's definitely rough if you've never played with this version of pet. It takes a good minute to really get good use of it. Because also one of the most scuffed things about Wrath.
Because in Mop, you didn't really have to worry about that either, because like your pet still wasn't there for the MS, but it was like just your passive buff that you just had.
Yeah.
And, like you just would use your pet like, oh, I want to use it to like totem stomp something, or I just want it like to live.
Yeah. Well, the most scuffed thing about Wrath, and I'll get back to BM, is that there's no pet move to in Wrath.
Oh yeah.
Oh, which is ultra. I swear it wouldn't be as bad if there was pet move too in Wrath. It would not. Be
Yeah,
awful.
I mean, you get used to it. You get like used to it because you just like send it to move with other people. Like you control everyone's positioning, so I think that there's like something interesting there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once pet move 2 got added, pets became like they became less responsive. Like somehow they mess up the coding because while you don't have it, it's harder to maybe notice. I don't know, maybe you notice it now, but like when pets attack and follow, they immediately start attacking and following. Like if you spam it, like your pet like instantly starts moving backwards and forward, but there's always a delay ever since they added.
So I know why that happened. Is because this was one of the major reasons why in BFA they wanted to. So I remember in 2017 when I was competing at regionals, I was talking to VHel. He was talking to me about the pet combat bug, and he literally told me to my face, "Yeah, we're breaking that next patch." They never broke it because they couldn't break it with the way pets worked. So in BFA, they redesigned how pets like function to break pet combat, and it messed up pets royally. So pets are now like omega scuffed.
Yeah, I know, but it was like that. But it was like that beforehand though too.
I
like,
never noticed that issue in
like since
BFA.
Nah, like there's a difference. Like if you were to play Kata, I don't know. If you've played a Kata private server compared to this, like that's the best way. Like as soon as the expansion came out, like the pets were just were slower. I mean, even Move 2, it's always had like a slight delay. It's like the smallest thing that you could ever notice.
Yeah.
The pet
let's get back to
Dragonflight. Yeah, for sure.
No, but actually, I have one fix. Like talking about like the pet move too, because like one thing as well that is like kind of sketchy with pet move too is it always wants to like move to where it was before if you did pet follow on like a specific place.
So
like it just goes like back and forth.
Yeah, it will always try. It does the same thing with pet stay. It always tries to snap back to its old spot.
Yeah, pet stay and like pet move to and like pet attack. Like it always tries to like go back to like where it was staying after you've done like a pet passive, like a pet passive, and then you pet attack, and then like if you don't do anything, you just like let your pet go or your target dies, and it just goes back to like where the previous pet stay was instead of like following back to you. Like there's so many like weird small things about pets that are just like
Yeah, it makes it like so
super
annoying. Like you
ace.
just get your pet in a ring of frost while you're like doing everything right and making
Yeah, like I did
mistakes.
nothing. Like what the fuck? That
Yeah.
worked by itself. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's like super frustrating.
Alright, so yeah. Alright, we'll move on to the normal BM. The BM tree is pretty straightforward for the first, I think it's like 10 points. You'll just
Yeah.
grab focus generation, barb shot. Then on the right, you'll take focus increase, pet damage, kill command damage, and barb shot damage. Left side, you also have to grab aspect of the beast and animal companion.
Mhm.
Should get you down. You only on the next row, you only grab thrill the hunt and bloodshed. Because like I said, you don't press Cobra Shot, so you don't want to take any of the Cobra Shot talents in any scenario.
Okay.
Then you'll grab Bestial Wrath and War Orders. War Orders is the main thing that lets you not ever have to press Cobra Shot, because every barb shot just resets the cooldown of your kill command. So you can just barb shot, kill command, barb shot, kill command, barb shot, kill command, barb shot, kill command, and that can just be your main rotation. And especially with Stomp not being a talent you have to take anymore, it
Mhm.
makes this a lot more effective too. Because the main issue with Stomp was that if anyone ever stacked on your healer, you couldn't press barb shot, so your rotation
Alhamdulillah,
got a
Stomp
little.
is gone.
Yeah, so now that Stomp isn't like a talent you have to take, like there's just no way around it. It makes barb shot a way more fluid to press, because it's not like, oh, they're on the healer, I can't press the thing that makes my pet attack 90% faster and puts up a good bleed. I just have to kind of sit here and wait. So then you'll grab Barbed Wrath for cooldown reduction on Beast of Wrath. You'll grab Wild Call just because you want the Barb Shot resets. Sense the Blood for 2 charges of Barb Shot. When you press Beast of Wrath, so you can, in opener, you can just Barb Shot, Beast of Wrath, Barb Shot, and then you just have your 3 stacks instantly. They'll grab, what? Yeah?
No, I was saying, wow, like that sounds like a really good
Yeah.
opener.
Yeah, you have it now, but it gets even better with this because there's a lot more barb shot modifiers as well. So barb shot also goes kind of ham. You'll grab one with the pack just for increased chance to reset barb shot. Now here's the fun talents here. So my second favorite talent here is Brutal Companion, which is the barb shot causes frenzies to stack up the when like your barb shot causes frenzy to happen 3 times, which is every barb shot adds 1 stack of frenzy. Your pet will use its special ability and it'll deal 100% increased damage. So that you don't have to like get. So if you refresh your 3 stack, it procs that as well. But the thing that's interesting is that right now with pet abilities, if your pet has 50 or more focus, it will consume 50 focus and make it do 100% more damage. So if you min max your pet enough, so what you can do is you can like toggle off pet like bite autocast. So then when you're about to do the 3 stack barb shot, you toggle it back on so it has enough focus to do a 200% increased damage ability instead of just 100% increase.
Yeah, or you could just like
And
manually keep on it too. Like maybe that's like,
yeah, yeah. So it's
Wow.
yeah, you
They're, like,
probably could just
technically, like,
you could just macro into kill command because
yeah, because
so
they're
yeah,
technically less laggy now, and then they'd
yeah.
always have it that way.
So yeah, it's
But the problem with
you
having
could-
it macroed into kill command is, well,
how many
limited
times press kill
range.
command? Yeah.
Silly
Well, if you're just
question.
mashing it, yeah.
Does Frenzy work on your Dire Beast?
No, it
Okay.
does not. Sadly.
It only works on your animal companion, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then you'll go on the middle. You grab that piercing fangs mainly because the other one's really bad in PvP anyway. But you also definitely don't want to press Cobra Shot, and you kind of just have a free talent point, and there's nowhere really to put it other than I don't know, maybe grabbing Dire Beast for the 5% haste, but it's not really worth it. Now you go on to the best BM Hunter ability they've ever added. It's Stampede, but cooler. OG Stampede, not the crap we have now.
OG.
So you'll summon 2 pets at the start of your Call of the Wild, which is really nice. And then every 4 seconds, you'll summon another pet for 6 seconds. So you're kind of just rotating in the boys. But the thing that makes the talent really, really good and fun to play is right below is Blood Frenzy, which makes your Frenzy stacks apply to those pets. So then they're all just attacking 90% faster, going crazy. And it's really fun to press. I love the squad. The squad is the most fun ability I've ever pressed as BM.
One thing also that I noticed when I tested this is that it works on the special abilities of your pet. So if you have like a slow pet, it's gonna slow whenever you press Call of the Wild, or like a spirit beast gonna heal you.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That
you
also
get your
seems
extra
kinda cool.
utility for like a second.
So you actually have like benefits to like make sure your entire
Oh, so
stable is
it's
like good.
it's really like OG Stampede then, where
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
because OG Stampede
actually is.
had the bug where you could get like
you
double
could, you
pet
could,
sack.
yeah, you could get double, yeah, because if you had your pet out of line when you press Stampede, then you'd press Ross, it would use your Stampede's Ross, and your main pet's Ross wouldn't go on cooldown.
Yeah, because it was out of line with the target, so you could just do that.
Oh,
What
Maybe
do
now
you
you
do
just
when
stack
you
like
CC?
3 spirit beasts.
Is there a way to determine which pets you get off the Stampede?
I think-
off the
I
Call of the
mean,
based
Wild?
on the ones in your stable,
I
just
think
like in a
it's 1, 2,
certain
3,
order.
4, 5.
All right, I gotta
Yeah.
start banning all my pets then. That's what I'm hearing. I'm just gonna have nothing but
Hell yeah.
spiders.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No,
you
wait, you
could
can have the dude, the range slow guy from either the what are they called? The one from like Gahoon, Blood Boys. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the Blood Beast? Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
they
about.
have like a range slow.
Well-
Or maybe you could have the Chimerials to like shoot
Well,
out.
isn't Spider
break
just a
everything.
slow now? Is Spider still a root? I thought Spider was a slow.
I think it's a slow, yeah, but
Yeah,
I think
so I
it's
think-
it's a melee slow. So
Is it?
the blood boy would just be better, no?
There's
I
no
think.
ways, but yeah, I might have to get some Blood
Well,
Boys then.
actually. Let me see here.
I
mean, I'm like 99% sure.
with those abilities, I just don't understand how it picks, like where it picks the pets. Because I know with like Animal Companion, it's the first pet in your stable it picks, but then for
Yeah.
like for the other ones, like I don't know, is it gonna be on the first page? Because then it should be pulling nothing but Spear Beasts out for mine.
Yeah. Spiders, they have it's melee.
Alright.
Gotta have the blood
Does
boys
Spear
for like
Beast
the
even
range.
still do the heal in Dragonflight?
I actually tested the healing. It's like pretty okay.
Well, I mean, because the
Uh,
thing is like because I'm OCD, the way I have my my table open is that all my Spear Beasts are first. So then I'm just gonna summon like 6 Spear Beasts and spam heal myself.
I
That
mean,
could be
maybe that
good.
would that could be good though. That could be good.
Yeah, then
I don't know, man.
Not gonna lie, it does sound
I wonder
pretty
what
sick.
pet would actually be best for like the thingamajig though.
It's
feel like it
probably
might-
gonna be the snare,
I mean, yeah, probably.
because pets don't really do much.
I'm trying to think. Like, what
they
else?
they
could it
snare
even
and
be?
they that's it. That's all they do.
Doesn't the core hound? Wait, what does the core hound do?
core
I
hound
just-
is?
Nah, it's some pace. It's like whenever the core hound takes damage, he does some like spicy stuff.
Oh yeah, he's a wall pet.
Yeah. Pterodactyl gives you slow fall.
They don't do much. It's the main
Dude,
thing.
slow fall. It could be
What?
good on like some spicy map. Who knows?
What about Bloodlust Pet? Does that even work in PvP for you guys?
So the way that pets work
Only
now
if
is
you
they
take
all,
the talent.
yeah. So there's 3 pet specs you get now: cunning, ferocity, and tenacity.
Yep.
And then if you have a ferocity pet, that's how you get bloodlust. So there's no specific bloodlust pet; just all ferocity pets have it.
Okay. But if you had a Bloodlust, but if you had a Ferocity pet, would that give you Ferocity
no.
in? Okay.
Because it's like the actual like pet ability.
Oh.
The bloodlust is like a thing like from the family,
Mhm.
not like from the actual pet itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like just all ferocity, and it's like a hunter specific spell, so it's not like in the pet spells.
Okay.
Well, technically it is. It's both. It's weird. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird.
I kind of get it. I was just thinking like how because Shaman can self Bloodlust, right?
Yeah,
So,
hunters can
as
do a
hunters.
version. BM hunters can do a version of it. It's really scuffed. Is that it makes it only do 12% haste for 20 seconds, and it's a 3-minute cooldown. But you have to take an
Okay.
honor
Cool.
talent for it. So it's like meh, because it's only 12% haste. But like something you can do is you
So
spec
knowing
into
that you
that
just can't
talent.
switch your pets with that talent would be interesting because that with that same talent you get like short cooldown on
Freedom,
Master
which-
Skull. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I actually, it's supposed to do an AoE freedom. I'm pretty sure the AoE freedom's like melee range though.
It's 8 yards.
Wait,
Yeah, it's pretty. It's
is
pretty
that
small.
really
It's 8
Yeah,
yards.
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
small. I've
like
noticed.
Revo ranged?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Well,
yeah. I mean,
You
the
cut me
thing
off
that
guard
I,
there, Dylan.
the thing that
Right.
some people were doing is like they would have like the lust pet out, take that talent pre-lust, dismiss their pet as the gates were opening, so then they would get both. But it's just like, eh. I never cared enough to do that. 12% haste for the first 15 seconds of the match. I'm not gonna win or lose me a game, so I've never done
Dude, that's
that.
like unbelievably nasty.
Mm.
And in like some matchups, you're just losing a talent because you don't need the cooldown reduction on freedom.
Okay. Yeah, fair. PvP talents before we move on to marksman. What are we looking at for PvP talents for?
Oh,
'cause
God,
I don't really see much
Uh,
changes here.
Yeah,
Well,
I
they gave
could
Diamond Eyes.
I could have
Give Diamond Eyes
sworn.
to BM and MM.
I could
true.
have sworn that we were supposed to get new honor talents, but with this November 28th date, I don't
Well,
think that's
technically,
happening.
Interlope and Diamond Eyes
Oh,
being able for full
oh,
R3.
Interlope.
Technically,
Hog.
yeah.
Oh
Wait,
my
no,
god.
I swear
I
Interlope
hate
could
people
actually.
having Interlope.
I feel like
Interlope is only good as survival because
Yeah.
you stand on top of your pet. You can't use Interlope on anybody else. It's
Yeah,
so
that's
bad.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
boy.
It's like Interlope is like actually good for
Actually,
survival.
unironically, it's better as marksman because as marksman, since your pet doesn't do anything other than Mortal Strike, you can afford to put it somewhere else.
Well, yeah,
So
that
like you
too.
could just
True.
Interlope and have it sit on top of your healer.
Yeah.
But as a as
Well,
you
especially
should
if you're,
never
especially if
be
you're playing
avid
KFC.
BM, seeing as you guys are not avid BM players, and I have experienced this talent since the very beginning. It's
Yeah, I know, it's
horseshit.
pissed.
It
No,
is
I know.
awful.
It's incredibly AIDS.
It is so giga bad. It is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's insulting to horseshit, to be honest. But
True.
yeah,
I mean, especially
actually,
now,
my
'cause we have to,
my
like,
favorite
take,
is the Diamond Eyes bait. Like Diamond Eyes, in my opinion, has been like such a bait talent because a lot of the time it's like great. Like I'm fighting like a. It's like when people see a hunter, they fight a warlock team, and then they're like, "Wow, Imp Dispel is miserable. I lose off that." And they're like, "Well, why don't you just play Diamond Eyes?" But then it's like,
they have a Fell Hunter out, and you
and now they exactly now they have Fell Hunter, which they could switch that out whenever. Now they can stop other CCs like Cyclones, and if they decide to play Imp, they could just Imp Fears anyways. So it's like one of your CCs is gonna like no one ever understands like truly that it's just
So
not even an
yeah,
option.
the
They
main
can switch
thing I
between
use
them in a
the
game.
main thing I use Diamond Ace for now is Shadow Priest teams because Fast MD is really annoying and I CBA.
A little bit of a boomer moment there. Fucking exposed.
It's absolutely a boomer moment. And you know I hate when the Shadow Priest just stun the Shadow Priest on the mains. Oh yeah, let me just try to YOLO trap.
Yeah, but
your
now we
Resto
can
Druid.
scatter him. Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
so cool.
See now
Harpoon
Diamond
trap,
Ace-
scatter priest. Let's go.
Not even that. You can just
honestly,
you can
no,
just
honestly, I
scatter
think it's just
trap, and
silence
who
and
cares if the trap is half?
honestly, the better thing is just that you could just silence on, like with your, or you can Chimera like on a stun, so then they
Yeah.
can't trinket MD, which is
Yeah.
normally like the problem. Like, oh, when is
Yeah.
he gonna trinket MD? Like, if you don't pre, it's just like,
But I feel like doing the timing is like so weird though, because I feel like it's really easy to say like, oh yeah, you get 3-second silence guaranteed, but there's no way do you land the trap like directly when the silence applies. So it's probably like 1 or 5 seconds, like 1
But
to
it's also like
1.5.
the main issue I'd have is like,
the
oh yeah, just
silence.
stun the priest when you're going for traps. Like, well, outside of int him, that's not very realistic because if either my
Bro,
feral
just
bashes the
kick
healer
MD,
first.
lol.
No thanks. I'd rather just I'd just rather Diamond Ice.
True. I do remember the one matchup that I
Here's the thing.
picked Diamond Eyes.
I
Well,
found the
well,
I found the
actually,
advanced
my
strat.
bigger issue is just giving up a talent slot as well, though.
Yeah,
That
too.
also, it's like
Well,
at
my
least-
advanced strat this season when I was queuing
Tactics,
into like
maybe?
some Shadow Priest Shamans is that I would just bully their melee and kill them with no CC. We'd stun and kill.
Well, yeah, that's what I do. Like, I just don't really play that. You just do, like, honestly, it's just better to do damage and just have the honor talent, not even waste your time. Like, that's like
Yeah.
the biggest problem with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so for honor talents, pretty basic. You'll probably just grab Roar Sacrifice because you have to, because for some reason I still an honor talent, not baseline. You'll snatch up Chimeral Sting because Chimeral Sting is very good, super versatile, can use for
Giga shots,
many
bro.
different things. And then you'll probably just grab Survival Tactics. I know some people sometimes like to play without Survival Tactics, but I like how it babies me into not dying as much. So I like the spell a lot.
The one thing that I
So-
kind of don't like about Dragonflight is that Feign Death is always going to be on a 30-second CD.
Oh, I know. Reintroduce Craven, unnerf
Dude,
Craven,
why
please.
can't it just be like 25? Now, I like Deadass.
No,
So
like that-
Tactics should reduce the CD by 5 seconds, so it becomes 25.
reduce it
in
by
my
15.
opinion.
Well,
well,
make
well,
it
like
remove every
remember
time.
how the artifact rate was where it did that?
Yeah,
That
the BFA, like duck and cover.
was- yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should just really bring
Yeah.
back Craven as an honor talent. Think it'd be
I think
interesting.
Craven
Let's
adds. I think the problem, honestly, the problem I have with like the dispel portion of it, and like all these dispels, it's like we have to like lose something else for those things to exist. Like I know that like you can't have hunter. Yeah, I mean it's like you see how the older design, like hunters have just like way more active tools to like annoy people, but like when you have these things that are like passive, it feels like really. It's like no one's ever gonna enjoy dealing with that. It's just very frustrating.
Oh, I enjoy having it. The Dill does not.
Yeah, I
speak
mean,
for
it's-
me. Bring
I
yeah,
feel
back
like the only
Craven.
way,
Well, okay,
the
so
only way that they can have
it's
Craven is
Yeah,
like,
okay.
imagine if you had like a super PvP talent. It took up 2 spots. Yeah.
I mean, my issue is
you
not
can have,
having
like,
it. Like
Ross and tactics
it is really
hunting
nice to
Craven.
have it. It's just that like by its existence, we can't have other nice
I
things
know.
without it. So
My
it's
favorite
like,
thing was to snipe Ferals and twos. I love sniping Ferals and twos. That was really fun. They just
yeah, I
can't.
mean,
They just
'cause,
all lose.
I mean, unironically, like they are
Super
always like our
exciting.
hardest counter ever. Like fighting a feral is like one of
True.
the.
I mean, Ferals are like so unbelievably broken. Like I don't think they can even win, even with Craven, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like
no.
you're saying you can't like that you don't win versus them, even
Yeah.
having.
No, yeah, like I mean, even with Craven, like
Wait,
you can't win against a Feral because like they're way too broken. So
Yeah.
this is
So yeah,
stuffed.
for the other honor talents, you could sometimes take Beast Within if you just want to kind of do more damage, or Immune Fears against like Half Warlock Shadow Priest.
Actually, sorry, not to cut you off, but that's actually kind of my problem with it. It's like sometimes those specs just beat you anyways with having those, and it's like great. So I'm just like losing something that would be cooler to
Mhm.
have for something that's not really like. Yeah, I mean, like Affleck's. Like I swear, there's this whole meme where it's like, oh my god, how can you lose to an Affleck as a hunter? But I swear those are unironically like the hardest thing to deal with. Like just because you have Cravens, like they could just like, I don't know. I swear the big noob trap of the fucking Shadowlands Affliction Warlocks is they just like dot the hunter and they're like, wow, he just took off all my dots. It's like if you just dot the pet the entire time and pressure him, like that does way more for you because that's like
Yeah.
healing you because you're making
Mhm.
it harder for him to keep up like the MS, and that's like what's killing you as well. Get rid of the MS, so you'd be really disruptive. Like that does way more for you. But if you expect like, you know, some sort of coherence from the average Affliction Warlock player,
Then like you're kind of
yeah, exactly.
Alright.
definitely thinking wrong here.
And then the last honor talent you take is Kindred Beast, which is the half cooldown on Freedom, where you can bloodlust an arena stuff.
Yeah, what about Wild Kingdom, my boy?
Wild Kingdom?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
That
Wild
talent always
Kingdom.
works.
No,
I
so
hate
yeah,
Kingdom. Wild
yeah,
Kingdom.
so yeah, I don't like that talent because for some reason I don't know why.
Now, on the European servers, it always
Yeah,
works.
listen. Let me explain it to our friend here because he doesn't know. So the way there is a bug with the talent. So
Okay.
how it's supposed to do is it swaps out your pet, and 10 seconds later it brings it back and heals it for 30%.
Yeah.
But there was a bug where if your pet died and you did it, and it would when it came back, it would actually just would revive and full heal your pet every time.
Nice.
And there was a Torghast power that worked like this too, where every time you attacked your pet, you and your pet would heal for 5% chance, and
Mhm.
that 5% would also revive your pet randomly in Torghast. So I know the bug exists, and I've had that bug work for me every time. But for some fucking reason, that bug never fucking works for me on Wild Kingdom. I go to Bicmex's stream, and he just does it like 13 times in a row without fail. And it's just
Logan.
like and he doesn't do anything different unless he's
You
sitting
know-
there hiding some tech. It doesn't fucking work. It's
No.
annoying.
You know
I
that
think- I
played
think-
in the
I think it's
in the
based on
1v1
I think it's
tournament?
based on if you're in line of sight of it or not.
No. It's
I-
it's actually dead ass 100%. It's the North American server. It doesn't work. On Europe, it does work.
No,
I'm
but the thing is,
convinced.
it works sometimes
I'm
on NA.
convinced.
It works on
but
NA
on Europe,
sometimes.
it's
It's the annoying.
100%. I don't know.
No,
how.
no. I actually it just didn't work on the tournament realms at all because Cassie was telling me on the EU one, like the tournament realm, it just didn't work because even on the EU tournament realm, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, because I remember that I had on the 1v1 tournament when I was
Dude,
facing
no,
Maldiva. and my
there
pet
is
didn't
like.
get- pet didn't
There's just
revive.
some
I was
random
like, "Bro."
conditional. It's based on like what pet you happen to have in that stable slot and doing something like that where it makes it work or not, and like then you're not getting that exact same situation. Like,
It was so frustrating because I was using this pen, the Ret Warrior, and then it just wouldn't fucking work. And I'd be like, Bicmex, what do I do? And I just watch this guy do it 14 times in a row. I do it in a
One-
duel, it worked one of the 2 times, and then it just like it's just so I hate that talent. I hate it.
Yeah,
The one thing that I've noticed as
honestly,
well-
what I do instead is I like right before I just notice
You
it's
just-
going to die,
you
I
just
press it.
use it, yeah. But
Yeah,
it's just like,
yeah.
oh, it's so frustrating to know that there's.
But the
such
one
a
thing as well is like
more
your pet
efficient way
can
to use
die
it.
while it's not there. Like I've had it happen on NA
Mhm.
into like an afterlock. Like let's say like your pet is 5k HP, has a lot of dots on him and whatever, and you press Wild Kingdom. The pet can die to the dots even though it's not active. So like whenever the 10 seconds is over, you get your pet back. It's dead because like
No,
it died.
No,
to the
actually, the
dots.
worst thing
That
is
sucks.
that the Wild Kingdom pet can be dead. Or actually, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
true. If
no,
the
that-
Wild
that-
Kingdom
that is
pet
what was
dies,
happening
you
on the-
can never press Wild Kingdom ever again because you can't summon a pet that is dead.
Well, you have to like res it. You have to hit that talent slot if it was there, and then you have to res it. So that's actually the
Sure.
bug that was happening on the tournament realm. Was like you would press it, and yeah, so it would just like summon nothing. So I tried it in one of the war games, and then I just summoned a pet that didn't exist. So I just got rid of my pet for 10 seconds, and I was trying to use it to like. What I was trying to do is like they crossed my pet versus a boomkin, and I wanted to use the Wild Kingdom, so I had a different pet, so I could like instantly freedom it, like as just like like the tech, right?
Yeah,
And
you
then
like
it just
Wild
got rid of my
Kingdoms to, like...
and then it just got rid of my pet for 10 seconds, and then I had no pet sack or freedom or MS, and then we just died, and I was like, all right, cool. So that's
Get
a
fucking
thing.
owned.
Yeah, and then
The
I just
worst thing
couldn't
that
do
has
it.
happened to me on a tournament realm as well with like Wild Kingdom is that I got all of my pets when I had 0 gear because I hadn't like bought it from the vendor. So all of my pets spawned with like 9k health. So like I remember one time that I used
Oh,
Wild
because it's
Kingdom.
based on the
Yeah, it's based on the HP whenever you bought. So because I didn't buy the gear yet, so I used Wild Kingdom, and then my pet instantly died, and then I could never use it ever
You'll
again.
find out there's a lot of bugs with hunters. You could do a whole 2-hour podcast.
Yeah,
on hunters.
it fucking goes hard.
That's awesome.
I remember I had to like explain to my teammate like, bro, my pet is dead because I got the pet when I didn't have any gear, so it spawned with no health. And
I
they were
still
like,
think
bro,
my
you're smoking crack. I was like,
my
I'm sorry.
favorite bug that exists is the double. Well, it doesn't exist anymore. It was the double tap bug, where
Oh yeah,
so
yeah, sometimes just one shot you.
yeah, so like at the beginning of the expansion, because everyone was having too much fun in Battlegrounds, they nerfed double tap to where the second aim shot would do half damage.
Too much
Oh.
fun in Battleground.
That's what I was so mad. I'd been playing so much
It was
Marksman on
before
beta.
the season even
I
started. They're
was
like, we
so
have to
good at
nerf it. I
Marksman.
swear, it's
I
gonna be
was
too
so
broken.
good at Marksman. I was like, this is it. This is my time to finally shine. And they fucking nerf it. I'm like, god damn it. I didn't get
happened
one
again,
goddamn
man.
season.
It just happened right now with the aim
I-
shot shit. Or
Yeah,
gun shot
exactly.
shit.
Again, another fucking. I didn't even get to play with
Dude,
it.
Blizzard has like a personal vendetta against you, man. I don't know.
I actually didn't even get to test it on beta because I was doing my rash shit because the raids came out this week. I didn't get to test
Fuck.
once.
No, it's fine,
Didn't
dude. Just play
But
Wrath.
yeah, but then
Or
my
play
favorite
Wrath
thing was
and then
that.
enjoy it, motherfucker.
But yeah,
You'll
but the bug
like
with
it.
double tap was that
Guys.
it. But the thing with the double tap bug is I don't know if it was replicable or not, but sometimes double tap be like, oh, I'm just gonna work. I'm gonna take
I
full
honestly I
damage."
think it was like something to do with like combat. Like from what I could tell, like it was like people would talk about it happening in the opener. It was something like if you like drop combat or like someone.
No,
I
the
think
thing
it's
is,
something
like,
with the
I
tier
literally
set
have a
maybe that
I literally have a
did
clip.
it.
No,
No, because it was happening. It
No.
actually had happened since like the second. I remember for Chili's like had like
I'm telling you,
that
it was
had to
completely
happen to someone
random because I
after.
have a clip of me playing KFC at the beginning of Cosmic, and we're just
Yeah.
fighting this monk. I'm like, all right, do, and I just one shot. I'm like, oh, okay, guess that guy died.
Yeah, it's like actually always existed.
Douche.
It just
Yeah,
It's
and,
just very
and
hard.
I have another clip where I'm fighting Holy Priest DH. I'm like, I'm gonna swap the Holy Priest, and then he's just a spirit. I'm like, oh, okay, sure
yeah.
thing.
guys.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're
No. I love it.
I
love
mean,
it.
at least that was Retail Hunter.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
I can't help it every time Logan, every time you're like, it's not working for me, but it works for Bicmex. What the heck? And all I can think of in my head is Ian saying, frankly, that sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't, dude.
Dude,
No,
I feel like in the European
you can
servers, they,
ask
like,
all the
abuse these
people I was
crazy
playing with.
bugs.
You can ask like the Feral Axton. I would literally sit there and lose my fucking mind. Like, I can't get this thing to work. I don't understand why he does it every time. I don't know what I am doing wrong. I
No,
tried
the thing
everything.
is, well, it's
I
so
tried
funny.
everything. I
Because
tried
when
everything.
I'm on NA, it doesn't work either, and I don't know
I
why.
tried so
It
hard.
has to
I'm
be
like,
the server.
I was
That's
like,
the
all right, I'll
only,
get rid of the pet
thing.
frame. All right, I'll do it instantly. Use the pet die so the pet frame is still there. I'll do this. I'll do that. It never consistently works. Like, "Alright, fuck this. I'm just never taking this talent.
Have to be.
Yeah, no, actually, I take it
New
now
York.
just when I fight boomkins and like when I fight windwalkers actually. So like when my pet gets like swept, I could just be lazy and just because honestly,
Yeah, I mean, like Windwalker is like hella base. You can be like so awful and just like, oh, whatever. I can. Just,
well,
like,
because
you
the
know,
thing is
get
too is
my
like
guy out of
the other
stun
talent
so I
when we're
can
talking about
rest.
talent options, like Chimera Sing is there, but like honestly, when you fight like if you fight like a boomkin or a windwalker, it's like
I mean,
I
they
feel
could
like
just-
I'm
they
never
could just
getting that much
suspend it.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I don't really see the value in it, and I'm like I don't know. It seems underwhelming. I might as well just have like the Wild Kingdom because it could be like really useful. Like because with those costs, like you actually might need to like switch something out. So I think that's like at a time where like even in the next expansion, like this is like a valuable honor talent than what we're like doing now.
Yeah. Kind of.
Like, I feel like that's where Wild Kingdom's actually
So-
ordered for.
so
is
it
just
sounds
for the
like-
pets a lot. Like a
So it
CC
sounds
breaker.
like what you guys could do is you guys just need to play BM and save your Bestial Wrath, and then that's never an issue.
Oh my god, true. And you can press
Yeah.
Beetle Rev while you're CC'd. But the thing is, like, Wild Kingdom
Yeah.
is more skill expressive because you can't press it in CC. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I
it
don't,
kind of
I don't care. I don't care about. Being
I
good
think
anymore.
Wild Kingdom is worse for BM though because I think you lose your barb shot stacks as you like swap to them
You
to the other
do.
pet. So
no,
so it's
that's kinda
like
sus.
There's also
Yeah.
There's also
That's what makes it like a hard.
I found the
hard
way of
sell.
survival to kind of min-max damage as Wild Kingdom, because your Bloodseeker counts per pet, not per like you having a pet. So you can have 2 Bloodseeker
Oh
dots
my
up.
god. Dude,
So
10% more
if-
attack speed.
By
God
the way,
That's a
there,
dot.
I'm not sure. If,
0.36.
speaking of Bloodseeker,
That's what
I
I'm
don't know. If,
fucking talking about.
I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this with Bloodseeker, but like randomly, even when I'm not spec'd into it, a kill command will just put a dot
It's
on them.
Yeah, it's something to
warrior
do with
intervene.
Yeah, it's
Intervene,
something
yeah.
to do with intervene. It'll just apply Bloodseeker for some
If it-
reason.
Yeah,
that
I
what
don't
it
know
is?
why.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you know my
Intervene just,
favorite.
like, applies
Oh
it.
my god! I don't know if you guys ever encountered this bug with crows, where you know how like typically like
Do we still have crows?
BM
only
has
BM
crows.
does. So
Yeah, I know, but like,
it
I mean,
was-
is it like usable? Like,
Nah, it's not. I
Yeah.
tested
so
it,
you know
it's
how
so
if you
fucking
you know
bad.
how if you like apply a dot and you intervene, you don't intervene the dot damage.
Yeah.
You could intervene crow's damage randomly.
well, yeah. It was always like that. So, because crows isn't actually like a dot. It's like a.
It's like a solar beam
It's-
above
it's
someone that
the
does
most
single
that's why
target
you can-
damage.
ever. It's so bad.
That's why you can like meld it. For example, it's actually more similar to like Feral Frenzy. So you know, like how Feral Frenzy, like you need to constantly be attacking for it. So
Yeah.
it's like one of those things where like, because you've always been able to like meld crows. I actually know you weren't initially like before like when it existed
I
in
wish.
MOP.
Well, the
It
thing
was
is,
like, you couldn't banish
you
it.
can't meld crows, but you can
No,
sit
no.
in meld, and the
Yeah,
damage
yeah,
will take
exactly.
you out of
Yeah,
meld.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just
Also, do you know that crows that doesn't stop like capture the flag or things or anything?
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
just
I
wish.
always
I just
It-
wish
it
they
don't-
would code.
Actually, it doesn't
crows
stop
as-
res in the arena either.
Yeah.
I just wish crows would be coded to be a bleed, so it did damage. Because it being reduced by armor is actually the most scuffed thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's
I
the
think
worst.
it wasn't initially, but yeah, that makes it the worst.
It is like
I mean,
by
it's
far the worst
so
talent.
bad.
It's such. I love it. It's such a thematically fun ability. But god
Yeah,
damn,
I really- like, it was
never
really
does
fun.
damage.
I
It was really
argue
fun before.
I argue that a crow's beak shouldn't be able to get through plate armor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kinda
it's
agree.
so crap. It like even cloth.
Well, no,
armor
they should
reduces it
reduce. They
enough.
should reduce armor. The crow should like pick off their armor, and like
Ooh, yeah,
Well,
shiny.
it should be like an
All-
armor shred.
yeah.
I think we
Armor
need
pen,
power
armor
to-
pen.
petition to make crows good and put it into the general tree as like the first talent. Every
Yeah,
hunter
true.
has to have crows.
They need
That-
crows.
That'll be a
I
lot
mean,
of
it's so fun. Crows is probably the
Yeah, it was really
It's
interesting
one
in
of-
like
it's one of
in
my
like
top
WOD,
five
WOD and
abilities.
MOP. Yeah,
yeah.
I liked
It's
it.
really fun, but it's just been so crap since Legion.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
like the MOP version the most. So
Probably
yeah,
because
I
it
think
did
we covered
damage
like
quite down.
the tree, right? We covered like all the BM tree.
Yeah, we did
Oh, yeah.
BM.
Yeah, we covered
Okay,
BM
wait.
hard.
Before we start with MM, I actually have to take a piss. I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
don't
okay.
worry, buddy.
Oh
It's
my
more me
God.
talking time now. There we go.
be right back.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, we don't need
Alright.
you. You don't play
So-
Marksman.
So marksman is, in terms of talents you pick, is pretty similar to BM,
Mhm.
except you won't go down the left side of the tree, so you don't need the trank shot focus thing, and you won't also need alpha pred or anything else. I haven't tested the kill command marksman build. I can only imagine it's awful.
Yeah, like I don't think it's good.
So in some weird world where if you can't get aim shots off, that could just randomly be the play, is to just spam kill command and arcane shot and just have a blast, do nothing else.
But at that
yeah,
point,
so-
why are you playing Marksman over like that's the biggest issue with it. It's like sure, but why?
Because I am Sylvanas Windrunner. I am the Banshee Queen.
Okay, so I
Alright.
guess you just like to commit genocide.
Hey, allegedly,
Yeah.
never been confirmed.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, I mean,
You only burnt down
Trial
a tree.
proceedings are ongoing. Yeah,
Yeah.
trial proceedings are still going on. Alright.
maybe you should be arrested, Jared, with the arrested Jareds
So-
are very well known for.
Shut up! Stop!
Oh,
Shut up!
boy. Oh,
That's not
boy.
appropriate. That is not appropriate. Shut up!
What do you mean?
I don't know where you're going. Stop. All right. So, since you're not gonna be taking the improved strength shot,
Mhm.
you can grab Born. Wait, did I grab Born to be Wild in my BM tree? I have to check that now. So I might have just skipped
don't-
over that.
Yeah, I don't think it did, but I think it can be good for the aspect of the wild. But it's
Oh,
like
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
it's like so weird that it works like that though.
Which one?
Well, you
The
don't
one-
even grab Aspect of the Wild anymore.
Wait, do we not? Wait, I thought.
No,
we
because
did.
it's different now. It doesn't work how it is. Okay, so I didn't grab Born to be Wild. So actually, that you quickly circle back to BM. If you didn't want
Yeah.
Rejuvenating Wind, you could take Born to Be Wild. Because Born to Be Wild probably actually better than Rejuvenating Wind.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's one thing. So that's the thing I do in the marksman build is I grab Born to Be Wild because I want the Sentinel thing in case someone like ports, so they run around a pillar, so I could just drop and keep hitting them. So main difference here is instead of grabbing all those talents on the left with the Alpha Predator, since you get 5 more, you're gonna snag up Master Marksman.
Mm-hmm.
Then you grab Arctic Bola. Arctic Bola itself is pretty not great, but you do it just to get Explosive Shot because Explosive Shot is a decent amount of damage.
Okay.
There's nothing else you can really grab here, and then you're just gonna obviously grab Keen Sight, Serrated Shots, and Death Chakrams.
I wish Burn to Be Wild was like Call of the Wild, where it reduced our offensive cooldowns.
Yeah.
I really like Call of the Wild. It's really fun.
Does Barrage would you still do Explosive Shot if you're in BGs, or would you go Barrage for the
Yes.
Barrage is really
Barrage
really
is
bad.
omega bad. They it was good for about 2 seconds in Legion, and then they omega giga nerfed it, and it's been like the worst ability since.
It was poggers in WAD, remember? Oh,
Yeah,
that was
it was
actually so fun. BM was so fun. It was like honestly, BM Hunter and WAD is like how like the hunters were in the start of this expansion, where it's like you put your carrying arrow and then you just like send the big one-shot rapid fire. It was like the same thing.
Yeah.
You do the biggest one shot and then you do nothing out.
Yeah, it really was. It's exactly what that spec was getting
Yeah.
5 stacks of a buff. It was getting 5 seconds of buff that you couldn't manually stack yourself. It was completely RNG if you got it or not.
Yeah, I mean, you would just get it. Like I remember I would just like sit there and like I would stare at a wall until like I would get the stacks, and then I'd get the 5 stacks, and I'd let my trinket proc so they wouldn't be like misaligned, because I just play thug with that and be like, all right, I have every modifier, they're dead.
Yeah.
I want to go back to something like that. I like that type of. I feel like they could just pick out like things, because the thing is, I feel like they haven't really finished developing Hunter, so I feel like I feel like it's really good for them to look. Yeah, I feel like it just would be good for them to look at things that have worked. Like that's the thing. Like I feel like they really should look at what's worked and like what's not, and like at least try to like take those together. Like that's because I think a lot of time they end up having like sometimes like really good ideas for hunters. It's just like some things aren't like they just don't like follow through entirely. It's like it just gets weird. I just think that there's more potential.
So, yeah, those are the talents for marksman. You can maybe take Serpent Sting and grab Blade and Poison on the right instead of like Arctic Bola and Explosive Shot, but I mean not good.
It just depends on the tuning of it though, right? Like that was the thing I was thinking. It's like it could potentially be good because maybe there's times where you get shut down on getting an aim shot off, right? Then you have those latent poison stacks, and then you actually like can pop them. Like that could be good, but it's like
could be.
Yeah,
it's like it just requires like very specific scenarios for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the general tree. Now we go to the main tree where there's the illusion of choice.
And we were talking about this.
Yeah, the illusion of choice is: do I get to waste 1 talent point or 2 talent points? That's your choice.
Technically, you can get Steel Trap.
Oh no.
you can.
You know, there's a lot of things you can do. I don't think I want to do though. So yeah, you have to grab all the first talent points to do anything. Kind of feels bad that you have to spec in the steady shot giving focus, but whatever. That's what you got to do. Then you'll grab rapid fire, and you'll grab the streamline underneath it just to make aim shots get faster. You'll take kill shot critical strike chance increase just because you'll be grabbing death blow and razor fragments, which is big kill shot damage. You'll grab right next to that. You'll grab careful aim, which is just 50% damage to targets above 70% health with your aim shot.
Mm-hmm.
You'll grab target practice for 25% arcane shot damage. And now here's actually there's a couple more talents. Then you'll take focus aimed, just more damage. Double tap, because double tap is nice. And then you'll take bursting shot. And now here's the illusion of choice. So you can either take volley, which is completely useless in arena outside of just doing random damage. Or you can take steady focus, which is going to be near unusable because casting steady shot twice in a row is like the worst thing you could ever do. So I choose to take volley because you can just randomly throw it and do damage, and you're not taking the absolute worst talent.
Yeah, actually, that was the thing I wasn't sure of when you're doing it. It's like, do you want it to? It's like they're so bad.
I mean, I feel like it's better to take volley because it's only 1 point.
It's 1 point. You could throw it out for random piss damage, and it's not the second worst marksman talent ever for PvP. We'll get to the worst talent later because our
Hold
boy
on.
here did take it in his choice,
Actually,
and I have to explain why it's just awful.
Oh yeah, the other one. Nah,
Yeah.
it's same package, dude. I'm gonna send 2 rapid fires.
No,
real
no,
quick.
That was
it's
funny.
not.
That was
No,
funny.
it's not that. That is
Yeah.
not the worst talent choice. The radiance thing is fine. It is something else.
there's
So
something else.
just one question though for on the volley though. Volley, like that's an area denial. Like it will knock things out of
Yeah.
stealth. It will knock druids out of
Yep.
drinks, right? So that does have some utility. It's not completely useless.
Oh wait, you mean
Yeah,
Deadeye?
but then
Is Deadeye actually not terrible? I couldn't tell.
are you ever gonna double kill shot anything at 20% health?
I was just not sure on how like the procs worked with it. That's all.
If you proc a kill shot, it resets the cooldown, so the double charge is completely pointless.
Oh, okay. Well, you could just take out that point of dead. I actually thought it was mandatory,
Yeah.
but you don't need it when you're getting double tapped, so you could just put it somewhere
Yeah.
else, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I can put it in a
volley
multi-shot,
volley
dude.
will knock people out, but volley will also you can't press it if they're stacked on a healer during a trap, so it's just like I can't use that ability for damage.
Okay, yeah.
So you
Fair,
you,
fair.
you could use it to like I got a rogue out, but yeah, other than that, so then
All right.
you'll grab over there. You'll grab serpent stalker trickery mainly because you just need the talent to get down lower.
Mhm.
But also it's free passive damage. It's not awful. Serpenting's decent, and
Yep.
especially since we're taking serrated shots, it's 20% buff, so not the worst thing in the world. Now here's where there's somewhat of a choice, in the way I do it. So this this is an experimental build I'm doing, but if I think it theoretically should be the best way to play it. So I'll go over the talent that are mandatory. So you're gonna grab Eagle Talon True Focus because it's just True Shot lasts longer and everything costs less focus, which is very important to happen during True Shot. That's a big issue with Marksman Hunter is that it runs out of focus really, really quickly. So something like that is very nice to help counteract that and let you actually get your buns off during True Shot. And then you're gonna grab Unerring Vision because it's 1% critical strike chance and 2% crit damage. So you could just do it makes your True Shot an actual like offensive cooldown that people should be scared of instead of you just mashing aim shot over and over again.
Yeah.
So the experiment that I think should theoretically be better is going over there and grabbing Bullseye, so you can grab a Legacy of the Windrunners and Windrunners Guidance because with the Legacy of the Windrunners gives you your aim shot at I think it's a 25% chance. Yeah, 25% chance to fire 6 little wind arrows like how the Legion artifact did, and they do like a total like 16k damage. So it's not amazing,
terrible, but yeah.
it's pretty decent too. But then the thing right under it is that each arrow has a 3% chance to proc True Shot for 10 seconds, which then in
that's a
tandem
new thing. Oh.
yeah, so
Yeah,
which in
that part of
tandem has
it's
a
actually kinda
chance.
good.
So yeah, which in tandem has a chance to work with Unerring Vision to give you the crit strike and crit damage. So like randomly you could just start popping people because you're just proccing True Shots and getting Unerring Vision. Or another thing that's really good is during your True Shot, if you get that wind arrow proc, it extends the duration by 10 seconds. So then you just
shit.
have 10 extra seconds of the full Unerring Vision stacked.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, so
But-
theoretically that should be good, but obviously in practice sometimes it could just be omega scuffed.
But-
So if
Yeah.
you
This
so
is
if
like
you-
if you have uptime, you'll like
That was kind of why I
destroy-
thought. That was why I kind of thought maybe just readiness is better with like surging shots. Than I'd be
so,
like,
so then if you're not gonna take that, so what you'll do is you'll go back up top to the left,
Mhm.
and you're gonna take surging shots up there. Then you're gonna go back down. You're gonna take lock and load because instant aim shots are always nice.
Mhm.
You'll grab to the left of Eagle Talons. You'll grab Sharpshooter, and then to make volley an actual usable button that you'll want to press, you'll take Salvo.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
if you didn't want to take that Salvo, you could take 2 points out of Sharpshooter. You could take 1 point into Lone Wolf, and then tune the Hunter's Knowledge as well.
Okay. Then that goes into the solo non-pet.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
So it's essentially you'll have 2 dead talent points because you're always going to want to have a pet out. But
Yeah.
you'll have the option to not have a pet, but you're doing it mainly just to grab Hunter's Knowledge because 10% crit on aim shot and rapid fire is pretty decent.
Yeah. That was what
It's
I was
actually
thinking.
like a lot.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know. It
Okay.
seems like you kind of had to take it.
So I need this because I made this mistake when I was just screwing around with the talent trees as well. And Logan, you were kind enough to educate me in my folly. But Wailing Arrow, I mean, this looks so awesome. Why don't I want it?
So it looks awesome, big bait that is they finally did. Actually, I don't even think. Oh yeah, they finally put in the tooltip, but the silence part does not work in Arena. It didn't work in Shadowlands, and they're making sure it doesn't work in
Yeah, I feel like it should.
Dragonflight.
I felt like it made sense for it not to work in Shadowlands because it was on a legendary. So it's like, great, you have to have the legendary if you want the sounds. But like
Yeah.
now, I don't really see the harm in it if
So,
it's like a talent. Like
If
that's,
if I had to take a stab at why I think they don't have it, is that if you remember in WoD, they cut back hard on blanket silences, and I think they're still trying to stick to that philosophy where they don't want everyone to just have a blanket silence.
yeah, I understand, but I feel like anyways, like when hunters lost their blanket sounds, it makes sense. Like because we've always had the worst kick. Like okay, Shadow Priests and hunters had awful kicks, or they didn't really have kicks. Like Shadow Priest had silence because they don't really have an interrupt, and that's like also why Hunter had Celtic shot 3 seconds, even though it's not like a long knockout. But then they take it
Yeah.
away, and now you still have a 3-second lockout, and then it's like, great, your interrupt is terrible ever since, and it's just because of that. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know. That felt like it was just an oversight. Where they did it with like classes like monks, like, oh, I have a blanket silence on my regular melee kick that I just have here, and it's like, okay, well, that's really busted because you already have like a kick that's like usable. But for hunters, like it kind of was like felt like necessary in the design. to
Yeah,
have
no,
blanket.
that's why I'm assuming that's the thing. It's also an AoE silence too, so in like some weird way you could randomly just like triple silence a caster team, which is
Yeah, but I mean, they
incredibly
deserve
insane.
that.
Serves them right for standing on top of each other.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I mean, if I have
Yeah.
to, if I have to line of sight,
Well,
then they
like
have to suck.
so like the thing is like, oh, yeah, it's like say they're like playing, but like especially with now DK's having 2 grips, you play some weird DK stuff where you play double grip, you literally just grip, blinding sleep, arrow. That's into remorseless winter stuns. Like, what do you do to outplay that? Like
Just
other than
line it, dude.
having.
I mean, I guess you have like Camariel as well, technically. I feel like it's
Yeah,
not
so
the end of the
I just
world.
think it's their philosophy of just trying to avoid, and also it being an AoE silence. I think they're just trying to avoid adding too many blankets to the game,
Yeah.
which is fine. So yeah, since Wailing Arrow, and also
I mean, it just sucks that it's like a whole talent choice that you're getting then that become like that's like the biggest problem is like, okay, well now this is just terrible.
so actually I'm looking at
Mhm.
this. I'm reading this now. I didn't even read what the other one did because I know what Readiness did, but this Windrunner's Barrage thing could be interesting actually.
Oh, because that would
because
maybe
it would
give
work.
you like a true shot, right?
It would work. Okay, let me
Mm.
see if I can figure out how to make that work.
Yeah,
Let me
if
pull up
it-
my
if-
I don't know if you can take that many points though.
No,
down
you
the
can't.
stairs.
You can't get enough points for them to both be worth it, so it doesn't.
Let me figure this out. I
Okay.
can do it.
well,
Alright.
actually.
So we're gonna let Logan do some live theory crafting, and we're gonna move on to this other talent tree called survival.
Hacking glove survival.
All right. So I'm gonna bring up. So right now I have the first one that you made there.
I had the first one. Okay, so this is not like
Bicmex?
the default.
sorry.
This is just like one that I made
back one sec.
specifically for
Yeah.
Thug Cleave. So there's like a lot of these things, like a lot of talents here. They're very like weird and niche for the comp that I'm like mainly playing.
Mhm.
So I specifically didn't take the 40% wall thingamabob because there wasn't necessarily like any room to take it in this like specific build that I wanted to play because I
Okay.
really wanted to go for the sentinel arrow for my party member.
Yeah.
This is just like so my rogue can like step the healer or step the kill target through the pillar because then a thing that we can do is just anyone like out of line we can just sentinel arrow and then like step a kidney bomb and then I can harpoon through the pillar and like we don't even need to CC the healer to be able to kill them. So it
Mhm.
just opens up to a lot of like different type of ways you can play it. So it's more of like a hit and run type of play style. So you don't necessarily need to take the 40% wall and also you don't have room for it. So and that's also why I don't have Alpha Predator because this is mainly gonna be like a setup based
Okay.
thing as well. So this is not like an average like your default build. It's also why I have latent poison instead of maybe taking some points into serrated shots, which probably would be better. I guess it comes down to tuning because right now it seems like latent poison doesn't really do that much damage. So
Oh.
yeah, and also like the one thing that is really bad about latent poison right now though is the fact that it ticks 6 times, but it lasts 18 seconds. So it takes kind of a long time for you to stack up the stacks as
Yeah.
well. So the
Well,
DPS
usually
that you
you
get
have to
out of it is like kind of bad.
You have to like spam reapply it. That's the best way.
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
like very, very sketchy. I mean, I guess it's
Mm.
easier to spam nowadays though, because it doesn't cost 20, it's 10 focus, because it seems like everyone is getting the MM version of Serpent.
Yeah.
which I don't really like. I feel like it would be way better if they made it so survival gets like a 20 focus, 12-second duration.
Okay.
But I don't know. I guess we're gonna see like how the expansion
Yeah.
turns out.
Honestly, I would have
Um,
I would have liked something like a lacerate instead. Like
Yeah,
like
I think it would have been really, really cool to have like a melee thing as well.
yeah, like
Or
what
maybe
I
something.
what I suggested is that they should have given. So instead of having like what's it called, like where we have flayed shot, I think they should have just made
Yeah,
lacerate rival
make
and
lacerate.
like a melee thing. You want to keep it with uptime.
Yeah.
And that would give you procs at like a lower chance because you could have it like on multiple like something that you could like.
I mean, they
manage
could
that
also make it so like old lacerate before 7.15, where it was a 10-second duration, 10-second CD.
with. Yeah.
They could maybe make it something like
Please,
that as
no.
well.
No,
Dude, I don't
never.
know. That shit will
Please.
kind of go hard.
No.
I hecking love melee
no,
bleeds.
No.
No, it will go
Stop.
hard.
Alright.
Come on.
I
man.
Logan,
do not.
It
Logan,
would be
no,
so
no.
fun.
Logan, if you
Oh,
want
no,
to, if you want to,
no. It
if
has
you want to play
nothing-
range hunter, just play
nothing-
Wrath.
It has nothing to do with melee hunter or anything. The OG lacerate was fucking awful. Fuck that ability.
I mean, it felt
That
awful, but
ability-
like imagine if it okay,
ability was so
okay, it
bad.
felt really shit because it didn't have it was just damage, right? But
So
imagine
bad.
if it could give you kill shots as well. Ooh.
Yeah, if you said something else, I think it would feel very.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be fine with lacerate never returning.
I hecking love
Alright.
lacerate. I just like melee stuff. I don't know. I'm
So-
a psychopath.
Yeah.
So I was
I mean, I
so
think Israel needs more melee attacks for sure.
so that first one you're talking about, Bicmex, that one was kind of like your very niche, and then you had another one which was more. Is this more general then? The second one?
Let me
I'm losing
see.
track of where we are now.
Oh yeah.
This
so-
is your big damn jungle.
This was like what I would say is like the most damage you can get.
Mhm.
Like if you have 100% uptime and you just want to do as much damage as possible, I think this is probably like one of the builds that I would recommend.
Okay.
This probably would change though with a little bit of a talent, you know, because right now quick shots. If you
Mhm.
see, it's next to coordinated assault to the left.
To the left.
The
Okay.
to the left.
The
of
yellow
coordinated
looking
assault.
buff.
The yellow looking thingamabob.
It looks like Pet
There's quick
Yeah,
shot.
it looks like
yeah.
Roar of Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the moment on the beta, this is 100% chance
Mhm.
whenever your kill command resets, and currently Arcane Shot does a lot of damage when it is increased by 100%, and then also 40% with the Ranger, the talent bottom right.
Mhm.
So you can do like 25k Arcane Shots, which is a lot when you have like 200k health.
Yeah, actually, I think this
So-
build is probably the best one.
I think this build is like the most DPS for sure, but it's probably gonna change once they finally nerf. I mean, I don't know. I think kill command is bugged. It seems to be doing like 50% more damage than what it should be doing. And then also, you know, this like you can actually kill people. You just spam kill command, and your arcane shots and whatever will just kill them. Like if you see spearhead all the way bottom right,
Yeah.
where it also makes it so you have a higher chance to get a kill command reset.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like
so-
the actual best way to kill people right now on the beta is to just spearhead and you spam kill command, and then you kill them with like arcane shots and kill. It's very
Right.
weird.
No,
So-
no, you just sold me on survival. Sounds like
I mean-
fucking dumbest way possible.
Dude, it's so
I mean,
stupid, but like it
I mean,
does so much
honestly,
damage.
I think at that point though, if that's what you want to go for, you should drop Spearhead and just take Wildfire Infusion and just get a Red Bomb. Oh, actually, no, never mind. Red Bomb
No,
didn't work on beta, but
Yeah, red bomb is bugged right now. Doesn't work.
yeah, but if it worked,
But if it does work,
What
yeah,
do you
I mean,
mean
but
it's
if
bugged?
it worked, you could turn.
no, but at
into
that point you
Jeffrey
could probably
Dahmer,
just like
or, sorry,
take
Doug
like
Kaczynski.
maybe just take 1 point of spear focus. I think
Okay.
maybe that's better. I don't know, but
I mean, it's bugged.
like no, red bomb just doesn't work, man.
No, the expansion is ready to go live, dude.
Yeah,
it's fine,
it's gonna
man.
it's gonna come out in like 1.5 months. It's gonna be
Yeah,
perfect.
man.
I don't.
Tons of time. Tons
I'm
of time.
I'm all for beta not working, but when spells that are already in the game just start breaking, like
Yeah,
what?
That's a
Well, yeah,
shit
but
I do like.
they didn't. Do they know? I mean, like.
I mean,
know.
the first day that I noticed it, I have done my due diligence. I have sent
Mhm.
out a little thingamabob, and
Oh,
then,
it took 2 months for your the kill command reset off barb shot to work. Every patch, I'm like, hey, this still doesn't work.
Hey,
I mean,
come
I'll-
on,
I would-
fix it, please.
I'll be
I
honest. Survival's like Kiss and its curse is that they have no one developing it. So sometimes you get really sick things because they didn't think about it, and also you just get like a ton of things that are bugged for the same reason. Like sometimes things are like really beneficial for you in an interesting way, and sometimes it sucks, and it's just because like they got one guy like he just looks at it every now and then.
Yeah, the one thing that I also
remember.
don't.
Yeah, you go.
Oh yeah, it's like the one thing that I don't really know if it's intentional or not is that so explosive shot, coordinated assault, and spearhead don't have a facial requirement. You don't need to look at anyone to press them, which is like kind of fun.
Oh.
It's like
yeah.
super weird though because you like charge backwards.
Yeah, you like charge. It's like super. And also one thing,
You
is
just
that
become a mage where nothing has a facing requirement. Mages are like, I kicked this guy that I couldn't even see on my screen. Oh, I got level 80. Let's go.
Oh, nice.
also one
I'm
one thing as
finally
well is
there.
like both of them they like coordinated assault and spearhead. They charge you and your pet, but you can press them if your pet isn't in loss of the person that you want to press it. So like even if your pet doesn't charge to the target,
Yep.
it still does the damage from your pet.
Oh, neat.
Ah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Working as intended.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
of course.
Yeah, I could just 180 charge somebody, and my pet doesn't have to be there. And
Super exciting.
Yellow gonna re-rating today.
But yeah,
Oh my
basically, so
gosh.
like the entire point of this build is just like you just spam kill command and
Yeah.
mongoose bite, and you just do like the most disgusting dog shit dam of all time.
All right. Sounds great. So I'm going to copy and paste this and play it on the beta later. Awesome. I'm wondering about. Okay, so this is your third one, Bicmex, which is the you just want to do your manual serpent strings. Serpent stings.
It's like basically the exact same build, but instead of going alpha predator, you just take serpent sting because like you want to be a big boy and press serpent sting by yourself instead of having 5% of them do that shit for you. That's essentially like the entire. Yeah. The one thing is that since you have more points to spend now, you can actually take energetic ally and explosive expert, which means that you will have like less globals to like need alpha predator because you have more things to press anyway because your cooldowns are going to come up faster. You also have like a bigger pool to spend. So even though it seems like you might have less buttons to press just because you don't have alpha predator, like in reality when you're doing your PvP rotation, and also you have to set up like you have to press mend pet, have to press tar trap, have to press scatter, like all these things don't cost focus, and they also like make sure that all of your cooldowns will come back up faster. So when I tested it on a dummy, I had 0 issues when it came to like I didn't have dead globals or whatever. That's kind of what I was like expecting, not having alpha predator. But in reality, that's not an issue like whatsoever. So for me, this is the build that I had the most fun playing.
Okay.
One thing you can also do is that you can take 1 point out of the tactical advantage, which is the thing. Like if you go 2 points up from spearhead.
Yep.
You can take out one of those and just put them into coordinated kill, so you have 2 points there. That's like something that you can do. So like
Yeah.
I've also heard some people say that like maybe you can take butchery in some very specific cases. Now I don't know if that's ever gonna be good, but like you can. So even though like this build isn't super rigid, like you can take 1 point out of explosive expert, maybe take something else. So maybe if you really want to have the flankers advantage, which is the kill command reset, have a higher chance instead of 10, it's 25.
Yep.
So you still have options, like even though the entire playstyle is gonna feel roughly similar, it's fun to still have this feeling where it's like, okay, if I really want to, I can take 1 point here, put it in there. Like there's still some things you can change.
Nice.
So it's not super rigid.
I have to ask one question to you though, Bicmex. What do you have against the bottom, the keystones at the bottom of your
They're all bad.
survival?
They're all bad. The thing, okay,
Why?
so
Why?
The issue with the one in the middle, the bombarder or whatever,
Bombardier.
is that you need to have wildfire infusion to pick it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
at that point,
that
so
is a
then
problem
you're
with it.
taking 2 points into virus venom, which is kind of dead if you want to manually press serpent sting. So then you kind of need to go the alpha predator build. But at this point, you're playing like a completely different build anyway, so I feel like it's just kind of wasted.
It should be one.
And then
point
also,
in this,
yeah, it really should. But then the
Yeah.
issue is that you're taking so many points just to make your coordinated assault stronger. So like let's say you press coordinated assault and you're like, yes, now I've spent 5,000 points to make it bigger, and then the rogue presses evasion and it's like, oh, or you get feared, or something happens. Like maybe you get disarmed, like stunned, feared, cheaped, whatever.
No, that's fine, dude.
So
Well,
I
I
feel like
actually
it's
don't.
not.
I don't like that they're on global too. That's like my biggest
Yeah,
gripe.
I feel like it's
They're
not.
on. They're on
It's
global
so
because of
hard
like
to really like try to get value out of it. So I feel like that one is not really worth it. And then the birds of prey one, that's just AoE damage on the kill shot. Like that doesn't really matter.
yeah, like that's
And
piss for
then
sure.
the issue with spearhead as well, the one that is on the bottom,
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that like it doesn't really matter too much because the focus reduction is extremely irrelevant in 99.999% of scenarios, because you're probably gonna get like you're gonna be at 100% focus anyway for the most part. It's like very hard to lose that much focus
Yeah.
without being in melee range. And also spearhead lasts 12 seconds. Like
What?
if spearhead was like maybe 30 seconds, 25, then you can make the argument that it's like pretty good.
Yeah.
Nah,
But
I still like it. I actually
it's
like it still. It's
12
Packers, dude.
I don't know, man. Like I actually tested out Deadly Duo a lot, like on training dummies and stuff, and it's extremely hard to get value. Like it's even hard to make it so like you can get one extra mongoose bite off during those 12 seconds in PvP. It's very, very hard.
Yeah, but with that tier, dude, you're just gonna be.
I'm not with the tier, dude. I feel like maybe if you have a dead
If
ass,
you haven't,
if you,
the problem
if you have
is you need enough.
0.75 GCD, then it's good.
Yeah, that's quite literally. It's the same problem with survival. It goes down to it where this is just like, yeah, this is sick if you have enough haste. Oh, great, you don't have enough haste on a spec
Yeah.
that is clearly designed to need a ton of haste. And at that point,
Mhm.
yeah, they need to
Yeah.
give it. Yeah, it's got some
Mhm.
work to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's no
So
problem. While I'm working on that, I got plenty of other things to do. Just sit back and relax. We got.
true.
All right. I'm gonna throw it to you, Dillon. Your tree, because you did, like you said, you went to Deadly Duo. You went that far.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I think about things in generality when like you're just like perfect scenario.
Yeah.
It's like the
Let me
same
go
thing.
ranger,
It's like
bruh.
nah, dude, forget that, dude. Well, because I wasn't taking explosive. I kind of didn't think about the thing with the explosive trap. I could just go back and get explosive trap, and I don't need. I can go
Yeah,
back
that's
and
true.
get
That's
the.
true.
So
Mhm.
I was actually kind of thinking about that, but yeah, I don't actually need that. I just wanted to have alpha predator, but if I don't need seal trap, like I could get what do I move around? I don't know. I can move around a couple town choices so I can get you know the Arctic Bull and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably take out from like keen eyesight or something, and then now you're going to master marks. Because the thing is too is like yeah, Loki serrated shots is actually just sick for serpenting
Yeah.
damage if you have that. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like it's just weird. It's weird what you could do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean I'm not completely sold on the general tree, but I still was thinking if I'm not getting explosive shot and if I don't take serpenting, do I want ranger for only kill shot?
For the kill shot, bro. Big
But
damn.
then it's like I guess maybe I should if I'm getting coordinated kill. So it's like kind of a weird place to be in. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not I'm like not entirely too sure about that, but I actually do like Deadly Duo. But I would probably realistically I would just have to put those 2 points out of Deadly Duo just into Ranger, and then
Mm-hmm.
that would probably just be fine because I want to
Okay.
just have like decent bombs and I like the kill shots. I feel like that's like probably where I'm at. It's just like yeah, I like to think about things in generality.
No, fair.
It's yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm like a mathematician. That's what I think about things in generality. So I don't really like
It's all
to
good.
waste my time.
Hacking
thinking
love
about-
math.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just better. I get more value out of thinking about like abstracts is like an ideal scenario, which is like, what about this very specific? It's just like it's like too hard to try to theory craft a specific scenario, like every specific one, until you like really play out the
Yeah.
game.
Oh, I know.
So it's like better to just think like, yeah, this playstyle would probably be really good if it's like there.
Mhm. Well, that's why I appreciate y'all for doing this, and because I mean it's not easy. You're basically like white paper theory crafting with iffy
Yeah, I mean,
numbers
like
to begin with.
anything
Mhm.
you just like think in your head, like it's just like things just like never work out like the way that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
thinking it would.
Yeah.
So
Well, not to mention, I mean, the devs could tune everything tomorrow and make make some of these abilities completely useless. You're gonna be
yeah.
like, meh.
I mean,
Oh,
also
well.
Also the
survival
one thing-
survival hunter kind of being janky is just like one of those specs that's like you just things like work out or they don't. Like you can't
Yeah.
really just tell. Like you're never gonna actually have a good idea of like what's the best build to play.
Oh, of course.
I mean, the one thing for me though is like I kind of embrace the jank when it comes to
Yeah,
survival.
no,
like,
I mean, I do too. It's just like it just
like
makes it
the
hard for me to do
jankier
a
it is,
draft,
the
right?
more it's like nice. I have to find a way, how to make this like dog shit spec work. Dude, let's go.
Yeah.
And then that just like motivates me.
Yeah.
Interesting way to
I mean,
motivate.
I think that is what makes it like kind of interesting too.
I don't know. I have to admit, if something is that janky or that dog poopy, I would.
I mean, like honestly, Hunter has kind of been like that. Like I feel like it's like
Yeah.
sort of thematic with Hunter, anyways, of having like weird stuff that just works together in an interesting way. Makes it like unique to other classes. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why like it's really awkward for people to like multi-class Hunter or for Hunters of other classes because it's like really unique with how it's like mechanics work.
Yeah, fair. I guess more so than like a frost mage or a fire mage, where fire mage you push combust and hit some buttons and things
Yeah, I mean,
die.
like a lot of
This is-
classes, they just have very like clear, concise like designs. Whether it's like even if it's in depth or not, like there's just like a very
Mhm.
clear vision. And with Hunter, it's just like a bunch of weird things that just happen to work together in a way that it flows. But it's just like kind of like chaos. There's no like true harmony.
Okay, I think we've pretty much covered like all of your pieces.
Yeah.
I have to. So I think we talked about what we like. We talked. I mean, throughout it all, you guys have kind of talked about the stuff that you're not so happy about. So I'm not sure if we really need to go over that specifically. There's two things I think we kind of glazed on, and I just want to make sure that we hit them. One is pets. So since hunters rely on pets so much, you guys talked about the raptor, and you did talk about the blood pets and that when we're talking about the different things BM can do. Is there any specific pets, I guess, in anything new coming in Dragonflight pet wise that you guys are super excited about and that is going to change the meta a bit, or is everything just the same?
New rodent models.
No.
Yeah, it's like new
So,
models and stuff.
as long as the only pet ability that does anything is Mortal Strike on a pet, you'll always have to use an Undead Raptor. It will never change. Since
Kinda,
pets don't do anything outside of either wall themselves to give you a slow fall, a snare, or Mortal Strike, you have to just take the Mortal Strike every
Yeah.
time.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Very.
I guess they
Yeah.
have like, I mean, the new pet that they made is kind of weird though. It seems, I mean, it seems maybe good in PvE. It has like
I don't even know what to do.
it's like a 40% magic reduction on the pet.
No.
Yeah.
Useless.
Wow, but what about them raid mechanics? Wowie, wow.
The thing that already takes like 80% reduction too.
Yeah, but like, what if it's like a super giga ultra super magic blast?
Then I think you're more worried about yourself.
I mean, kinda, yeah. I don't know. I
Okay.
feel like it's just like lore things. Like, wow, it's so cool. I can solo this mage boss. Sure.
So
How
unfortunate.
do you guys
something,
feel
I don't
about
know.
vehicle quests? Should they bring them back in Dragonflight?
Dude,
I liked
fucking love
vehicle quests.
Can
Yeah.
we only have vehicle quests?
You're
Yeah.
gonna learn that very quickly. These PvPers do not like vehicle quests. It's too
Dude, I don't wanna
complicated to
play my
figure out what
class,
rotation.
man.
It's very hard to figure out your 4-button rotation on a vehicle.
No,
That's what I've learned.
Can't min
No,
max.
actually, my issue with them is where for some reason like my vehicles just bug, and then like I'm on the quest right now. I mean, I hit level 80, but I'm like, well, I might as well finish the zone.
Yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
just
that's
like
good
in a
gold.
symmetrical. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like just doing that. And yeah, then the vehicle just isn't working. Like it's like I had to become a worm and I went underground to do worm shit, and then I popped out of the ground as a worm, and I'm not doing worm shit. I don't have any of my abilities, so
Oh, yeah, your action bar just disappears? I don't know. It's an add-on, but just spam 4 and 5. Done that
and
quest.
it'll work.
Yeah, your abilities still work.
Probably
but
gonna
You just
work,
can't see
yeah.
the cooldown. No, they did, because I have an add-on that tells me it's like
Yeah.
a Trophy GCD thing for Wrath. And when I was pressing those keybinds, I could see the abilities going off, so I knew they were working. You just couldn't see your bar.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. All right. Back to Dragonflight and not Wrath of the Lich King. Tier sets. What do you guys think?
The Sorrel one I feel like looks cool. I like that one. I like
Survival
the
one goes
incentive to
fucking
do.
hard.
Yeah, I like the incentive to do melee.
Okay.
Better
I
than
don't
the
know
Ted
about the
Kaczynski stuff.
50% more damage. That one seems incredibly sus.
So I guess BM, they just fixed the 4 set to make it do something, so the 4 set's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So BM's is pretty good overall. Marksman is it's probably number wise okay. It's pretty not fun anymore though that they got rid of the cast reduction on aim shot. It's like the only reason I was looking forward to that, because it was like,
Mhm.
oh nice, I can go like a crit mastery build and I don't have to stack haste. And it's like, oh, I gotta stack haste again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to that
Sucks
little
to suck, I guess.
Yeah.
sucks to suck.
Hey, it's fine. I'm a BM hunter, man. Who cares?
Yeah.
I like the reasoning why we removed it because they became uncomfortable. Wait, what? During True Shot, it became a nuisance, so they had to just remove it.
Yeah, oh yeah, because True Shot already does it by like 50%, so it's probably like pew pew.
It just became like instant. Yeah.
That sounds fun.
That sounds fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, it's
Nah,
fun
but like imagine the
expected.
PvEers, they get mad over that.
I
It's
got-
like, oh my god, the cast time is shorter than my GCD. Ah.
I got carpal because I couldn't push the button fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Question from chat. Races.
races.
I mean, I feel
Human.
like human seems like it's
I
like
hate getting yelled at, man.
Human is the absolute best, but for the most part, it doesn't super matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this
It's
point-
like if you don't want to be human, it doesn't really matter too much. Like I
I'm
swear,
always a
something
fan
like
of Night Elf for
High
the
Mountain
1%
Torrent doesn't
haste
even
at
seem that
night.
bad.
Well,
It's
I
not
know, that's-
shadow melt. It's not shadow melt. I
True.
just want the nighttime haze.
I gotta be right back.
Yeah.
Like, shut
No,
up.
but
Super
I,
fucking
I,
exciting.
No, unironically, Night Elf is like my favorite race in WoW.
But,
Anytime it's like
but
playable,
then,
like I want that.
but then you can only play at nighttime, right? You can't play during the day.
No,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get like you get like the crit. Well, yeah.
Super crit, yeah.
Well,
Unpaid remaster.
maybe that is good because crit does matter in ever since they brought it back up to was it 75%.
Yeah, I feel like
it
I feel like
helps.
that's good. It's
Yeah.
nice because
Yeah.
it makes like roar sacrifice valuable as well. It's like there's a problem where it's like,
Mhm,
oh, here's multi strike,
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
new mechanic.
So,
and now roar
what you're
sacrifice
telling me is we
exists.
need to convince everyone to go Blood Elf and Night Elf for 1% crit during the day and then all time, and then we
Yes.
all have Ross value.
Yeah.
But wait,
I'm on
Blood Elf
board.
gives you crit, right? Isn't that
Yeah,
like one of
1%
the-
crit.
Yeah, 1% crit. Yeah, hell yeah.
Or make them go Torn and Dwarf for the 2% increased crit damage, more value.
True.
Too funny.
Hmm.
Dwarf,
Wait,
is, Dwarf
Worgen
and
also
Torn are
has
the
crit.
best.
No.
Worgen also has.
Oh.
Everyone should play Nightborn, and here's
agree.
why.
Purge
3-minute
protection.
cooldown.
You can save your
slow.
PI.
That
Yeah.
is poggers. 3-minute
Dude.
cooldown slow. One of-
20%
That listen,
slow.
I've seen it.
Fucking goes hard.
I've seen a lot of racials in World of Warcraft, and that's for sure one of them.
Dude, you save so much money. You don't need to like get the, get the girl from Dalaran to like send you your mailbox shit. You can just
Yeah.
go Nightborn.
Oh, yeah,
Kinda
wait,
goes
so-
hard.
This is a bit of a PvE tangent, but my favorite thing was when I was looking at Sims for races that it was actually a DPS loss for picking Nightborn that does not have a racial at all. Like you actively were losing DPS for pressing the racial. It was so, and it wasn't like a tiny. It was a noticeable decrease if you press that button off cooldown.
Wow.
How much damage you lost.
Wow.
Void Elf is slept on a teleport though. By the way, they
They were,
changed.
they
Void
were
Elf.
really drinking that arc wine out there, dude, when they thought of that shit.
Guys, they changed Void Elf. Just so you guys know, you can no longer teleport to your guy if you're out of loss.
What?
Yeah, with the Void Elf teleport.
Yeah.
It's so
God,
bad now.
God forbid all those void elves.
Yeah,
out
all the Void
there.
Elves. Oh no, can't make them teleport through loss anymore. Oh
I'm,
no.
I'm telling you, Bobby Kotick got fucked in the ass by a Void Elf in like,
Yeah,
a
it's
Tuesday
like,
match.
this
no,
shit's so
hey,
broken.
wait,
Wow, we have to
Dude,
remove this
dude,
shit.
dude, you gotta relax.
Dude,
You
there's some
gotta
actor
relax.
loads like one time playing. It's like,
That-
nah, we
That
can't
wasn't me.
have this anymore.
There's a paid actor. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
We're gonna. And that's
The thing is, like,
that's
Troll
how
is
technically
also
PvP
really
got
bad
canceled.
because it doesn't.
No, it wasn't me. It
The
wasn't me.
voodoo
It was-
shuffle doesn't actually exist.
It
with the
was
value reduction.
Kearney. Wow, follow his Twitter. He was in the call.
Follow
Happens to-
Twitter.
happens to sound exactly like me. He said,
Okay. Let's move on. Let's just one last round the table before we close this out. I'm gonna Dillon, just because you're here and the voice actor's gone. Is there anything that you feel that we should have talked about that was missed in the whole conversation, or something you really feel that we need to say?
God, I feel like we really did talk about like.
Should have
everything
talked
that
about
we could've-
our Lord and
did.
Savior quick load.
Everyone reroll BM.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my mindset is like, yeah, BM actually does look pretty good, but why do I want to play that?
For me, it's
Because
like I have
Pet's
only
go
played the
burr.
spec that has harpoon. That's me.
Pet goes burr.
Well, yeah, that.
I'm
Yeah,
a
yeah,
harpoon simp. That's all I'm saying.
but Logan, are you really telling me you're gonna have by the time we really have Dragonflight arenas in BM,
Mhm.
we're gonna probably have like some serious RAS seasons. Are you really gonna play that over? over
Oh, I
Dragon?
didn't think we were talking about. I still haven't bought the expansion.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean that's my mindset. It's like I mean it seems like it would be good, but like I don't know if I would actively like go out of my way for it. That's like my
Oh,
biggest problem. Like I'm not sure I go
absolutely
out.
not.
So it's like I
Absolutely.
feel like I feel like that's my biggest thing. Like when I want to play like a range hunter, I just don't know if I would want to play that. Like it is better for sure for the people that I think that are gonna stick with like retail. I think that's like totally good. But I think if like a hardcore like hunter PvP and you want like a really like high skill cap version of hunter for being ranged, you just play that. And I feel like survival has like a lot of like potential for depth because it's got like all this like weird mobility. And I feel like it's just something different. So it's like that's what I want to get out of it. It just feels like more modern. Because like they like
Okay.
with modern WoW, they've had a hard time really developing hunters in a way that I like.
Yeah, sounds like it. Bismex, do you have anything that you feel we haven't talked about?
Trying to go over the things. I mean, there are like some things that we intentionally didn't go over, stuff like Fury of the Eagle, and like I mean, the one
Best
thing that
ability
they've
ever.
done with like the hunter talents is that the entire left side is like always kind of bad for PvP, and then the right side is like super paggers. So
Mhm.
I guess that's like the one thing that is like kind of convenient. Like we didn't need to talk about like, oh, what about multi-shot for PvP for
Yeah,
marksman hunter?
Hey,
But what
I,
about
I, ju-
trick
I
shots?
just think
Wow,
they
you
need
know?
to like they still need to adjust a couple of things like for sure in the trees, but like it still seems
Yeah, for
yeah
sure, skis.
yeah.
But
So,
I
it's better.
that's the one thing that I noticed that is like kind of intuitive. It's just like you go right side for single target and then left side for AoE. That's like something, I guess, that I kind of noticed.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess the one thing is like you have some very weird talents in the survival tree, like the
Mm-hmm.
sharp edges, like more crit damage. It's like, why is this here? Have some unfathomably bad talents like bloody claws, which is the one under spear focus, like the one all the way to the right, and then yeah,
Oh, down there, yeah.
yeah, it's
Mongoose
like
Fury, kill command reset by 2%. Yeah.
it's like so bad.
Nah, it's
Yeah.
poggers, dude. You
Well,
fucking
I think some of the stuff. I mean, it's clearly there's a mixed match between PvE and PvP. Like there's some
Yeah.
stuff that is
Intense focus, so good, bro.
they were
Yeah.
really working super hard on it, and like I was seeing like constantly every day like the dev was updating, and then I don't know what
gone.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now they
like
just slept.
because PVE wise, the trees are pretty good.
yeah, like
PvP.
there was like a lot of development going on, like really back and forth. The hunters were getting a lot of attention, and then it kind of just it was just weird. It just stopped. Like when like I think they needed like a couple more like good rounds of feedback to like adjust some things. And like
Mhm.
I had placed like the last like even some of these changes that we had today, like I had mentioned these like months ago, and just didn't do anything. I was like, I don't know, the last tree seems kind of weird, and it's like there's still like a little bit of conflict on these
Yeah.
bottom trees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're getting the paladin treatment. Understood.
yeah,
Basically, for me, the
Okay.
weirdest thing as well is also the fact that like terms of engagement has the 10-second CDR to make it so harpoon is the same as retail and how it's always been a 20-second CD. I feel like it seems kind of shit to like you're forced to pick terms of engagement just so you can have harpoon be the cooldown that it always used to be.
yeah. That
It's like
is
imagine if I ever want to harpoon someone that is in CC and it's like, oh no, I'm gonna break it now. Like I feel like it's gonna take some time to really get used to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wish that it would just like terms of engagement can only be the damage and like reset of after you get a killing blow, but just put the cooldown reduction back to the default spell. Like just make it 20. Like what's the problem? Why does it have to be 30? I don't know.
Well, because if they made it, yeah. Anyways,
Very strange.
yeah. And I think that hasn't that happened repeatedly throughout different variations of World of Warcraft where they've like nerfed something to only buff it through borrowed power, or they
I mean,
they do stuff like this where they make an interaction that forces you then to take a talent to put it back where it belongs.
I mean, I guess like wings for Red Pal is like the biggest example that I can come up with.
Yeah.
Like wings is like 10 seconds, and then there's like a point underneath it that is like, oh yeah, increases the duration by 10 seconds as well, so it becomes 20. It's like, wow. Couldn't this just be like a default thing? Like, do we have to make it 2 talent points? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's probably some like number, but it feels very random. A lot of these things, I don't know. Like especially with Wildfire Bomb, you have Wildfire Bomb guerrilla tactics, improved wildfire and bob, and then tactical advantage. Like you're basically spending 5 talent points just to make wildfire bomb good. It's like I don't know. But the thing is, like, you'll take the points anyway, because like, what else are you gonna pick? You take more damage, or you take the kill command gives you 6 more focus. Wow, cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty poggers. That's a whole
Sounds
raptor
good.
strike.
Yeah.
It's a whole raptor strike if you take deadly duo, 2 points.
That is baggers for sure.
That is actually extremely fucking cool.
Oh boy. Okay. Logan, SSDS. Anything that we haven't talked about that you want to make sure we do?
Call the Wild's the best ability ever.
Talk
That's
about the
right,
fact that you can call the wild
play-
while you're in stealth.
Play BM.
Let's
Don't
do it.
play marksman. Maybe play survival if it involves you just pressing kill command over and over again. 'Cause
Wait,
that does
man.
sounds
Why
like
you
some interesting
bugging?
gameplay.
I think it kind of makes sense though. I mean, kill command should kill things, right? So if at first you don't succeed, just keep pushing the
Right
button.
now, kind of do.
Yeah,
really.
I kind of feel like you're bugging, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
All right, guys. Well, I think that pretty much covers it. Thank you
GGs,
guys.
everyone.
Yeah. Wow, what a conversation. All right, quick round of the
Hell yeah.
table. Gonna go backwards. Logan, where can people find you on the interwebs?
Twitch.tv/SSDS and Twitter.com/SSDSLW.
Nice.
What does the
And
LW stand for?
It's my initials.
Oh shit,
Bismex.
cheeky docs here.
Uh,
Oh yeah, you
what-
can find me on twitch.tv/BismexWow or BicMexWow. Both of them work really fine. And then the Twitter handle, tada, BismexWow, right there.
Yep.
If you wanna say hello or whatever.
Awesome. And Dillon, what about you?
Don't really remember the numbers in my Twitter name.
Yeah, but
That's
your fucking credit card
intentional,
info
but
right there.
it's yeah, it's okay. If
Fair enough,
just send me your credit card information. It's no problem. But
You remember the
Yeah.
3 wacky digits at the back as well.
yeah. I need to make sure you have the numbers in the back. Yeah, I don't know. Just Dilly WoW on Twitch if you want to watch my WoW content. Yeah, I don't really
Sounds
stream
good.
that much nowadays or do that much. Like, yeah, I'm like a PhD student, so I don't really have that much time for WoW stuff outside of every like few months. I play for like a month straight and don't go
Mhm.
outside, and then I do something. But yeah, it happens. It's just like that now.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Really
Love
WoW.
it. So just out of curiosity, the numbers in when you renamed your Twitter handle, is that just like complete random numbers? Or you just
Oh no, like I actually just
His favorite
hit my hand on like I just press 1, 2, and 4. Like I put 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I just press that twice, and then I was like, all right, that should be good enough.
You're telling me
Love
that's
it.
not your favorite integer?
No, I
Should've
think
been good.
my favorite
Fuck.
integer is.
Dude, you could have just like came up with something. It's like, oh well,
343.
actually, for the math majors, who knows? So this
Nah,
actually means,
it's 343. That's the
Damn.
best one.
should have been like
It's
that's
like
pi
like you know how
times pi
like
or something.
777 is supposed to be like lucky.
Uh-huh.
Well, like that's like 7 times 7 times 7. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So 343
Super
must
lucky.
clearly be lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have said
Right.
like that's like
Like
the
7
golden
cubed.
ratio
You
times
lost
the
me.
age that I was, the year that I was born.
Yeah, fuck that. I only think I look at letters more than I've ever looked at a number. I'll be honest. Like,
yeah. If
Yeah.
it's not an unknown, it's not a real number.
nah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you guys again. Always a pleasure having you on. And if anybody is interested, this is going to end up on YouTube on the Bonus Roll Productions. So if you prefer watching your VODs over there, you can check that out. And if you want to learn about Demon Hunters, we're going to be doing that one tomorrow night, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings. So that's going to be a great one. And you
Ooh.
all, in the meantime, stay classy, everybody.